All right, what's up, everybody? What do you get when you're an actor, a model, a basketball coach, a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Blue Belt, and he's Canadian? You get this guy right here. So join us. We're going to meet this guy right now, right after this. All right, what's up, everybody? We're back. Welcome to the Eddy Live Show. I'm here with my man Roger Dunkley.
Hey, how you doing, homie?
Good, man. I've been wanting to get you on the show for so long, brother.
I appreciate it.
Thank you for coming, making the time, man. Your Wednesdays busy usually?
No, usually Wednesdays I'm just chilling. Especially recently, my work situation has changed. I feel like it's improved. So I got a little less.
So you got more time.
Less time devoted to the inside the office and things like that.
Okay.
And more time to do stuff like this and chill.
Perfect. Yeah.
Before we get going, though, I did bring a little something for you.
Oh, you don't have to give me nothing,
I really
bro.
appreciate
come on, bro.
invitation here, and this is something I know you
shoot.
like. You
look
like
at
fighting and like martial arts and stuff like that. So I gave you.
Check this out. It's a Mexican boxing glove. I'm gonna put that on the wall, bro.
Yeah, because I know it's
on the wall. Yeah.
It's Mexican.
This is beautiful. Yeah, Mexican boxing is It's huge. It's huge, right? So,
dude, about
thank
that,
you, man.
that's
I appreciate
the thing.
it.
Yeah, no
this
worries,
is cool.
man. I'm actually training in a. It's called.
Thank you.
Yeah. Chuanji Tiandi, like Boxing Paradise or something like that. I don't know.
Okay.
That's a Chinese name.
So shout out to those
that's
guys.
That's where I got it from. And those guys, their style is actually a little bit like the Mexican style.
Okay.
So I guess they're kind of like fast, like moving forward.
Okay.
Like bop, 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 and a lot of like pressure fighting too.
Beautiful.
So my girlfriend goes more than me now. So.
Oh really? She goes. So she trains as well.
Yeah.
Nice.
She's been going for over a year.
Okay.
And they're actually thinking about trying to get her to do some
so
competitions.
She's good. So she's good, and they're like, she should fight.
She's good, that's the thing. But it's kind of like you have a child or someone you care about.
It's tough.
I don't want you to go.
Yeah. Well, actually, I have a child, and she goes. I have a. Well, my daughter goes. Cheers, hey.
Killer cups, by the way.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you.
Tell me more, because
I have a little girl who goes to BJJ. She loves it. She goes and trains at Fairs Academy, right?
Yeah,
she loves. Shout out to Fairs. Is he watching? Yeah. Well, how's the audio? Looks like it's good. That's all right. Good. Fairs Academy. She also likes to go and train with Matt Bateman, Matt and David at the Sprouts.
UFC gym in Sprouts.
Yeah. So they got their own thing. She loves it. Aaliyah just got her gi, so she's loving the gi. Yeah, she's loving that.
What color?
It's white. It's white. Yeah, she's looking at some more colors. We'll see.
Humble white. That's what they always say.
Humble, right? Yeah. So I got blue right off the bat. And black, right? Yeah.
That's the thing. They say the black. You're never supposed to get black, bro.
Really?
Apparently.
Okay.
I think only I don't know, but for sure you can't really compete in black.
Okay.
But also I heard black is kind of reserved for maybe black belts. I don't know.
Well, it's gonna look. I'll be honest. I haven't. I ordered a black. I haven't tried it on yet.
I ordered one too.
Did you? Yes, the black.
I know.
Yeah, but you're not a white belt. You're not a white belt though, right?
Still,
I'm a white belt,
dope,
so
they look so
it's gonna
cool,
be.
Man.
They look cool. They look
ninja
really cool.
Stuff,
so we're gonna see how it goes. Yeah, black belts. A white belt with one stripe. Remember, I got one stripe. Yeah, I got one stripe.
Yeah, man, you got it.
That's pretty
heavy
sick.
on that.
Yeah, so I figured out how to tie it actually now, which is nice.
Sick. Okay, maybe you can teach me. I'm still doing it the Taekwondo style.
It was funny because they're like, "Oh, Roger will teach you," and then you did a total different style
and it's
from the first time. And I was like, "Which ones? I don't even know what to do." So I'm like, "Okay, I'm just gonna try to." And they're like, "Oh, this needs to go here," and I'm like, "Okay."
That's the thing. There are ways that you can tie it that it can never come undone or something.
Oh, really? Okay, well.
And I know there's certain guards where they use the belt and they'll pull it up like on a tail kind of thing.
Okay.
It's crazy.
Sweet.
So if you can arrange it in such a way that it can't come undone or anything like that,
that's pretty cool.
Then you're ahead of the game.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. Well, I haven't figured that out yet, so that's tough. Yeah.
I remember I saw a picture of Helio Gracie. He had a gi on, and it looked kind of like yours does right now.
Like this one,
it was very tight,
like the chef jacket. Okay.
So I'm wondering, do you wear it tight so they can't get their fingers in to grab it as easily?
Okay.
That's one I was thinking, but
that
then
sounds
maybe
about
it was
right.
just for the picture and it looked better.
That's possible. That's why I wear this, man. Shoot for this. You got to do it. It's funny because the chef jacket. I mean, people are like, oh, the chef jacket, but it's just a jacket, right? But it's comfortable.
Why did you go with black? Because
I
used
went
to
with
work
black.
at Earl's and we had white.
Yeah, Earl's. Oh my gosh, I love
You
Earl's. Yeah, of course. I didn't work there, but I ate there all the time.
Yeah,
man.
they're good, man.
I love Earl's,
Earl's
man.
girls,
Yeah,
man.
Earl's exactly right. Oh my god, from Vancouver, right?
Yeah.
So whenever we'd go down to Vancouver Island, or Vancouver, we definitely hit up an Earl's, man. Earl's is nice. Yeah.
Yeah, they had really good wings at Earl's.
Did
too.
they?
Dude,
right.
I remember making them in the back. Like that's how you do it. You 7 minutes the fry or the wings in the fryer.
Okay, yeah.
Dipped my hand in the fryer one time when I was dropping the fryer.
Okay.
Worst thing
Fantastic.
ever. But like the hot sauce, like the most delicious hot sauce you ever had in your whole life, was just Frank's Red Hot.
Well, Frank's Red Hot is just the basic. Yeah, for sure.
So
that's the basic buffalo. Yeah.
But is it the environment when you're tasting these wings that the Franks seem so much better, or what? Because the Franks is good already, but like you'd expect them to spice it up.
Yeah. Well, usually the buffalo is like a Frank's and a little bit of butter, right? So it's pretty. Yeah. I mean, that's what we do. So let's grab the first one anyway. So that's actually, as a matter of fact, that's the first one. So let's we start from this side.
Okay.
You can grab the wing or the drum.
Now this is interesting. I never seen this part of. So which one is which? Because in Canada they always cut that little piece off.
They
right?
do, yeah. So that's the wing on the bottom, and then the drumstick on the top. Yeah.
So the drum is like the shoulder.
Yeah. So we'll do these together, and then we'll go that way.
I'm going drum.
So go drum. That's where the meat's at, man. Growing boy.
Thank you. Yeah.
Cheers. Right. Cheers, brother. Yes. That's all good. No worries. Yeah. Not bad, right?
The thing about it too, I like the wings. I don't like them too like juicy, like too like moist. Okay. Sometimes because when I worked at Pizza Hut, we used to do the wings in the thing. But if you didn't put them through maybe like a time and a half, they'd be a little bit soft. The meat, So like I like it nice. The outside I want to be like crispy and juicy.
Yeah.
The inside, the chicken part, I want it to be,
Well, it needs to be if you fry them. Like the deep fryer, obviously less healthy, but way better flavor-wise,
that
right?
crispiness too, right?
Yeah, for sure. Kind of locks in the flavors and stuff, so it's pretty solid. Yeah. So we haven't even introduced you, man. I mean, I kind of did, but you can go eat that, chill for a second. There's no class
just
today,
a man
right?
and his cat, bro.
Exactly. It's just a man and his cat, man.
No class tomorrow.
Okay, I'll be there tomorrow. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I'm shooting tomorrow, so 5, but I'll cruise after. That's the thing too. Should I come? Because I have to shoot on Friday,
Yeah.
Maybe I'll
that's
come
tough.
and do the drills, but don't roll.
Yeah. No, I think. Yeah, imagine
drills,
rolling.
Man. Can you imagine some guy trying to throw a triangle up and just like,
Imagine you're taking some dude's back and he pops you in the eye with an elbow. Yeah.
Imagine his name wasn't Eddy. Imagine that
first day. First day.
I had a bruise on the top of my eyelid from that, bro.
Oh my gosh, that sucks,
solid
dude.
maneuver.
It's just like, whoops.
Yeah. And then that makes you think too. It's like, okay, so if you don't have that in mind when you're doing something on the street, like I'm gonna take this guy's back, boom, and you're like, tossed out.
I didn't even notice. It was like a reflex,
man.
It was just like, whoa, what's going on?
Then,
which I felt really bad about.
Sports jiu-jitsu versus like fighter learning to
I think one of the main things is like the confidence, right? When if something's going down, you're kind of like, okay, if you're good, maybe at a jiu-jitsu or
but
something.
If you never have that as a consideration, Eddie's never gonna throw his damn shoulder because nobody's ever done that before, and so in that case, why would I ever consider closing my head down this way as I finish the choke or whatever,
True, yeah.
But that's the thing, Mr. Ferris is like, get that up in there, throw it down, and then bury your head.
Yeah,
so
he always tells us,
your eyes or whatever.
Yeah, but you don't know until you get popped in the head, right?
Exactly, right?
It's so cool, man.
That's dope.
So what originally brought you here, man? I never got to ask you that. Have a swig, man. Have a swig.
I was studying criminology at Simon Fraser University. Yeah, man.
Really?
Study of crime and deviance, bro.
Oh my! I studied that too.
No way.
At Malaspina University, man.
Say what?
I didn't finish it, but
I mean, dude, I was at college in New Caledonia. Yeah, I did the 2 years there, got the diploma, and then transferred over to Simon Fraser. And then my dad's like, you know what? Like, you're from Vancouver. Like, maybe you want to do a little business one day. Like, Mandarin probably wouldn't be a bad idea.
Your dad suggested that, really?
Yeah.
That's a pretty sick thing to suggest.
Idea, right? The guy
wow.
Had an idea. So I'm like, yeah, man, let's do it, blah, blah, blah. Try it out. Level 100 course. I could use the elective credits anyways.
Of course,
And I jumped down, and I meet so many cool people, and then this opportunity for, I guess it's the Han-Yu scholarship to go abroad and study Mandarin and live there. They'll pay $30,000 a month plus the free entrance.
That's
so you
fantastic.
just got to pay for your own ticket there, and anything over the $30,000 or
really
to survive. So that was killer. My parents were like, "Hey, man, this is an opportunity of a lifetime. Why not give it a shot, right? If
why not?
But anyways, go do it." So they paid for my ticket to the airplane and all that stuff.
Okay.
And they sent me over, and then
directly to Taipei.
Yeah. Dude, it was crazy because there was 3 people going over. One girl from UBC, Danya, my other buddy from Simon Fraser, and then me from
all coming here.
Yeah, but I didn't meet either of them until we landed. Yeah, dude, it was crazy. So then I'm like, dude, if I don't find this guy, like, how am I gonna get to the hostel, right? And then it ends up that like I meet him on the plane, like he's like stretched out like this, and I'm like, you seem like the type of guy that's like, you know, like a university student, you know, like are you like? His name escapes me right now, but like, yeah, we haven't chilled for like so long anyway.
Are they still around?
Yeah, I haven't seen them in so long because they're back home.
Yeah. Oh, okay,
but,
okay.
But, yeah. It's pretty chill though. But they sorted me out. I kind of followed them a little bit too.
That's nice to have somebody around to be like, hey, this is what we do. Yeah. I remember my first school I worked at, we had like a little dorm, and you know, I went out and they're like, hey, we're gonna go for dinner. You want to come? And I was like, yeah, it's like my first night, right? So they're like, I'm like, all right, walking down the street, I see like teppanyakis and shabu. I don't know what they are, teppanyakis and shabu-shabus and all this, like, you know, the kwaichao-dians and all that stuff. And I'm just like, oh shoot, what are we getting for dinner? And they're like, oh, McDonald's. And I'm like, no, I'm not eating McDonald's for my first meal here. Come on. And they're like, I'm like, well, what's that? You know, shabu-shabu, right? And they're like, yeah, we went there. It's shit. So I'm like, what? So we went in.
Are these other foreigners?
These are other foreigners. Other foreigners, right? So actually, long story short, we went in. Nobody knew even about sauce. Like the shabu-shabu is all about the sauce, right? Like the garlic and all that stuff, right? The soy sauce, like, and no one. Yeah,
you don't know. Even to this day, I don't know how to make a good one.
Yeah.
Oily one? Do you want the garlic in there?
Yeah. Well,
teach me.
I make this. I make the sauces, right? Like I make those, and they're good. But I mean, like at this time, no one even knew about sauces, right? So we went in, we had the shabu-shabu with no sauce, with zero sauce.
Okay.
So I was like, this is kind of like boiled stuff. I mean, it's okay. And I was kind of like, oh man, this is going to suck. It's my first night, right? And they're like, yeah, I told you. But eventually when I met Taiwanese people, we went back and we started making like the big sauces, and it's good. I like it. I like hot pot.
The thing, man. Do you prefer shabu-shabu versus barbecue?
No, of course
you're
not.
Barbecue over.
I like barbecue.
Absence of the water.
I think, well, the barbecue gives that little grill taste on the outside, right? It's got that little burn sort of a fire. I think it's like the fire or the whatever. So I like barbecue. I like both for sure. But I mean, like I'm married. My wife's Taiwanese, so we eat shabu-shabu. Yeah. So I mean,
so what's the difference between a shabu-shabu and a hot pot? One's Japanese.
Well, yeah, it's the same thing. It's hot pot. Yeah, hot pot basically. Yeah. It's funny because I was dating this girl way back, and I was like, let's go for shabu-shabu. And she's like, Taiwanese. She's like, I don't know what that is. I'm like, shabu-shabu. I'm like, that's not even an English word. I mean, what do we do? What do we do? You should know. What are we doing? You know, like, so yeah, that was an old relationship. So yeah, anyways, very funny.
I see why you ended it, bro.
I was like, that was a weird one, man.
Dude, man, even to this day with my girlfriend, like I'll say like maybe like some word in Mandarin, like Zhong, Z-H-O-N-G, right? If you say it with the wrong tone,
sure,
you don't get the idea. But I'm like, think about it like this: Z-H-O-N-G, Zhong. Like, how many variations of Z-H-O-N-G can you make? I got to be in the neighborhood, you know?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Like take some like idea from the context of our. She's like, no.
Yeah. Well, you know,
you're not listening to me, you know? So
it's crazy because like it's weird because back home, if somebody mispronounces or butchers a word, we can figure it out.
Get it.
But here, like,
but is that
if
how
you're off on the tone?
Language is on the tone and the thing, and like,
I think so.
Our ignorance, right?
For sure, yeah. Like I think I remember this. I just think, wow, that's deep. That's a deep one, man. I just think I remember when I was kind of new, and my Chinese was pretty bad. I mean, it's not fantastic now, but it wasn't great. And I went into the high-speed rail, and the Gaotie, right? And I'm like, so I'm like, 一个高铁票, right?
Nice.
But I said国铁.
Oh,
right.
What's that?
Which is like the pan-fried dumpling.
Okay, nice.
And then I'm like, 国铁. And she's just like looking at me. I'm like, 国铁一票. And she's just like, well, we don't sell dumplings here. I'm sorry. I'm like
what about the EPO situation?
I'm like, do you really think I'm trying to buy dumplings at the high-speed rail? You know what I mean? I'm like, come on.
Straight.
Do you really think I'm trying to buy dumplings?
Is it me?
Like, what am I doing here? You know? Am I nuts here? I came down here underground. I'm looking for dumplings crazy, dude. So originally you brought here, so you You learned Chinese in Canada first?
Yeah.
Okay.
I learned it at university.
Okay.
Just did like the level 100 course, blah blah
Okay.
blah.
Okay.
And then came here and then still did the level like the beginner course.
Okay. Yeah.
And then
okay.
it was chill.
You went on that right off the bat. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because it's kind of interesting because they give the option to do the regular or the intensive.
Okay.
And I was like, that regular looks pretty nice. Right? It's only a couple hours a day. Blah blah blah.
I love that. Yeah.
And then but the two students that I came with, like they were like pretty like into
like gung ho for it, right? Yeah.
So I was like, I can't be the only one not doing this, right? Like maybe they know the right choice to make, so I did it too. And like I feel like my Mandarin really improved in that short amount of time.
I think if you're here, it's going to improve a lot, right? If you got like a base,
if you're using it outside,
if you're using it, I think if you're maybe in Canada or something,
like 3 hours a day,
that's crazy.
Like you preview, review, test, preview, review, test.
That's
like you're just do, and like it makes you think like what your brain is capable of.
For sure,
like, I never even pushed myself that hard because I was like, what's the need? And like, who needs that stress? I'll go crazy. But then it's like, oh shit, like, you learn some stuff.
I agree, man. I have to agree with that. Yeah.
Kind of like with remembering my lines right now, dude. I have like some lines I got to remember, and then I have like an interview that I have to start to like really understand the background of the companies that I'm going to be talking to. Yeah. And it's like, how do you memorize this stuff? But as you go through it and you do chunk by chunk and you start early and over time you get it.
Yep.
It's like the best thing.
Yeah. I love that, man. I think
it makes you show like, oh, dude, these brains, man, like they're actually pretty cool. You know, like you can like do some stuff with them.
Yeah, if you use them, right?
Right, straight.
Get punched in the head, punched into them.
Yeah, punched it and drink some beer.
Exactly. Yes, that sounds good to me. Yeah, shoot.
Sounds good to me.
Let's grab the next one, bro. So the next one is Chipotle. You know, Chipotle is like a smoked jalapeno. So go for it, man. If you're the grown boy, you want to go down.
Yeah, I'm gonna do drum again, bro.
Do it. Yeah, do what you want, bro.
Thank you. Just so much easier for me to hold on to and eat.
Exactly.
What's this you got on top?
It's a Chipotle, honey Chipotle sauce.
Okay.
Chipotle is like a smoked jalapeno, so it's kind of like a tangy, a little bit smoky, a little bit spicy. Not too much, though.
Now, you put it in this order. Do you expect it to be spicier than the last?
It should be, yeah. I mean, yeah, sometimes it varies, but it should be, yeah. Round one's pretty chill, though.
And this is that parsley, cilantro.
Cilantro,
What's the difference?
It's a different thing.
Different plant? Yeah, it's not being a totally different thing. What's the difference, bro?
But, I mean, they look similar, right?
Yeah. Some people are against it. I'm down for it. Like in the soups and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not so bad, dude.
Not too spicy, right?
No. I'm getting that sort of like sweetness out of it. Almost like a little honey in there. Something.
Yeah, exactly. It does have a little bit of honey in there, man, for sure. So I'm going to read a quote while you eat that. Cool?
Okay.
So...
I got a bunch of quotes on my phone I want to read too.
Yeah.
All right. Cool?
Yeah,
because
of course,
I like
man.
to do that stuff.
Show,
we can think about like what they mean to us.
Sounds good. Sounds good. So I want to read one of your quotes. Sometimes you may think you're worthless, but it's just that you haven't found a market that knows your true worth.
Right.
All right. So what is that?
That's the one I got off. Like, I think this is a really popular
quote,
video
of
Facebook about some like Mongolian. He takes the stone.
Okay.
And his dad's like, go sell this in the market. And then like he sells it in one market, they're like, we'll give you $2. He goes to the next market, they're like, we'll give you $10. He goes to the next market and they're like, we'll give you $100.
Yeah.
And then he comes back and he's like, dude, man, that's crazy. Like they give me a different amount. He's like, that's the thing. It's not the stone that's worthless. It's like the market, the value.
I agree. I also agree with the restaurant business. It's similar as well because, I mean, you can get in the beginning. We were in Danshway, a little bit less spending power. Prices were, a bit lower.
Okay.
And then I hate raising prices, but
like every boss, I hate raising these prices.
I'm like, I hate it. I hate it. But it's like our first 10 years. I mean, like, it was like breaking even. And I'm like, you want to work for free forever? Because it's like you're paying your rent and you're paying your bills and you're paying your staff and your vegetables
of the food to buy and all that shit.
Yeah,
apparently,
exactly.
like the margin is very slim, but like you can make a lot of money in that margin. But it is close to the cost. The cost.
Yeah. It's pretty close. I mean, it just really depends. It's supposed to be cost times 3. That's like the rule of thumb. But like some things cannot be right. Like beers and that. Like certain beers, if you're selling like, no offense, like shitty beers or whatever, you can. It can be like your Heineken can be really cheap. But we sell like really nice craft beers and local beers. And so the cost is a bit higher. So if we were to do that times 3, it's not possible. I mean, some places do it, right? But it's like you kind of got to juggle and you kind of got to be like, what are we doing, right? So it's tough, man, for sure. But it's all right. I mean, but yeah, We raise the prices once in a while because you have to. Cost goes up, meat goes up, vegetables go up. When there's a typhoon, it's crazy. Vegetables are like quadrupled in prices.
See, that's so interesting. Like a short-term situation that can happen at any moment can affect your price, but you can't really go out and get brand new menus. Like, how are you going to pay for that? Just to
you can't be like, all right, guys, special typhoon pricing. Everything's double priced today. You know, like you can't.
I'm sure you'll understand.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll understand. Yeah. So yeah, exactly. No, you can't do that. So yeah, man. So that's. I also agree. Like sometimes you feel, you don't want to raise this, but actually. Yeah, if you know the worth, I mean, like you were saying, Earls, you have a good environment, you do something like that, it's okay. Rather than the same wings and like some hole in the wall, you're going to be like, oh, this is overpriced. Right? Because the whole atmosphere, the whole drinks and the food and the service, and that's what we try to do that here. I mean, Earls is one of the ones I like from back home.
And then that's what I'm thinking
you
about
try to do.
This.
You try to do,
context of the quote, think about it like this. Like, imagine a Mexican restaurant like this in Mexico.
Yeah.
It's like everybody's got that.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Imagine a Mexican restaurant like this, and then Vancouver. Ooh, that's a little bit more tibia.
Sure.
But now, here you are in this market, Taiwan, with a, like an
for
authentic
sure.
Mexican guy.
For sure. Exactly,
so,
you
like
try to,
It's like, and it adds up and it matches and it's good. So it's like it is what it is. So that's the thing. Like, you're smart. I don't know, like, this is like a thought that you had before you came to Taiwan.
No, definitely not. No, I had no thoughts before I came here.
Here you are like a well-run establishment. Like the work that goes into it was never
it's a lot.
Preconceived thought.
Never.
How interesting is that?
Never. It's never
Life
been.
Can bring you like boom, boom, boom.
It's crazy. When I actually was doing the criminology thing, right?
Yeah.
And then I didn't finish the diploma thing, but I wanted to do the RCMP, right? That's what I wanted to go do.
Over here.
So I was going to go do that, and I found out I didn't have to finish the criminology. I'm like, I'm going to go take the test anyways. So I went. I did the written test, no problem. And the physical, I mean, I was like 21, 22, destroyed the physical.
Dope.
And then
you went pretty far, man.
Yeah, and then I did passed actually, I failed the eye exam, so I got laser eye surgery, and then I went back and like, okay, you passed this. Went all the way to the final interview for the RCMP.
In person?
In person, yeah. And then they came up to see me in my little town, Kitimat.
Yeah.
And they basically said, it's like a 3-hour interview, and basically I didn't pass that because I was young and had no life experience.
That's what they always say. They want life experience. Yeah.
So basically, they want to have somebody who's had maybe something bad happen, and then they've recovered or they reacted well to it.
Yeah,
and I'm
test.
like, so I'm like, basically, I live in a small town. There's a
came from a good family, pretty happy. Not much adversity.
So, I mean, I
sorry
about
but
that.
I'm not sorry.
But I mean, there's a murder in my hometown like every 20 years.
That's the north, man. I'm pretty sure that's a pretty dangerous place, though, isn't it? Think
at
about
that
it.
time, no.
Everybody
I mean,
has guns up there, and like, isn't there like the Highway of Tears, bro? You know the highway.
Yeah, of course I know that. Yeah. I know that. But
that's like directly to the Kitimat. Like,
that's true. It's funny that you even know Kitimat because so few people know it. Yeah.
Yeah, I went to Grand Isle, bro.
Did you?
I know
nice,
it.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
me and
basically,
my friend, we sat on a bus, a Greyhound. Me and my buddy Drew, me and my best friend Drew, growing up. We sat on like a little Greyhound and we were driving. There was like 23 hours, dude. So crazy.
It's so far, dude.
Yeah, they go so like Horsefly, Houston, all these small little.
Oh my gosh,
spots.
yeah! Shout out to those places. I used to play soccer there. Yeah.
Say what?
Good stuff. I used to play soccer at all those places when I was in high school. Man, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I love the quote and. It's fantastic, man.
Thanks, and that kind of like speaks to me too a little bit. Like whenever you feel like, oh, dude, like I'm not doing enough, like I'm not good enough, like my job, like my this and that. You're like, no, maybe it's not me. You know, maybe I'm just not like in the right trade or in the right position or like, or then maybe sometimes it is me. I'm not gonna fix that too. But like that's the thing, you never know.
I think it takes it takes time for people to figure themselves out. Or like you were saying, I never even thought about doing any of this stuff. I came out because I flunked out that I failed that test, right? Not the test, the interview. That interview, and I'm like, okay, well, what do you guys suggest? And they're like, well, you can't reapply for 2 years. And I'm like, okay, well, what should I do then? And they're just like, well, get some life experience. I'm like go to freaking like the Mexico border, or what do you want me to do? Like, I'm like, what am I doing here? So they're like, well, you can't apply for 2 years. So I was coaching soccer. Soccer was going well. And then at the end of that, soccer finished. All the kids went to university. And I'm like, well, what am I doing? And I thought, I've always wanted to come to Asia. And so usually what people do in my hometown is they go to like either Prince George or Vancouver.
Right.
So I was like, I kind of want to do something different, so I came here, man.
Continents.
Yeah, so I came here, man. And
how many people do you know that have actually left Kitimat to go abroad into Asia? Like probably a few, not so many.
There's a couple. Well, non-Taiwanese.
Oh, see,
maybe one other guy that I know. Yeah,
interesting. Yeah,
there's not very many. Well, he's. One of my teachers is married to a Taiwanese, right? So I was growing up. I had this amazing Mr. Guizhou, man, this amazing guy.
Yeah.
His wife's Taiwanese, and you know how Taiwanese, they call everybody Lao Shi and stuff like that, right? So one time at the old restaurant, my staff's like, oh, Lao Shi, he came here and blah blah blah, and I'm like, what?
Who?
What are you talking about? You know? So they're just like,
that dude?
They're like, yeah, he's coming around, blah blah blah, and I'm just like, my teacher. I'm like, what? And I'm trying to think of who the hell would be here? I'm like, okay, so end of the night, knock on the door on the little rail at my other restaurant. I open it up, and I'm like, oh shit, it's Mr. Guizhou. I'm like, what? What are you doing here, man? And he's just like, I came to visit. I'm like, what are you doing in Taiwan, man? That's crazy. It's like, oh, my wife's Taiwanese. I'm like, oh, really? I'm like, you never told me.
The connection was always there. Right?
I'm like, really? I'm like, you never told me that. He's like, you never asked. Because, when you're in high school, you don't ask, right?
Yeah, you don't know.
Oh, your wife is from Taiwan, right? You don't
Yeah.
ask, right?
Yeah.
You're just a selfish high school kid. You don't care, right?
But
then he comes out every few years, comes out for beers and stuff. He's a great guy, man. I love him. Actually, when we went back to Kitimat, we actually went to visit him as well. Pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
It's cool to have connections like that, man. He's a good guy, really good guy. So shout out to him.
That's dope. And even think about this dude was he knew about Taiwan long before you,
way before me.
And now here you are living so reality in this place, you know Taiwan now.
And what's funny is
from small
one of
town.
my best friends growing up, he actually he's Taiwanese Canadian, and then when they come here, I would show them around. I'm taking them out to Din Tai Fung and to the 101 and to Shilin and all this stuff. It's crazy, because he's Taiwanese, right? Mm-hmm. But he lives in Canada, born and raised, so it's pretty cool. Yeah. Like I said, I love it here. I'm staying.
That's the thing. I feel
about you,
I'm
man?
Retired already. That's what they say.
It's weird.
Everybody goes over to Asia when they're
it's weird.
retired and
it's like living on vacation sometimes, right? Yeah.
Right?
You go back home.
I do get worried sometimes though, pensions and
for
like
sure.
That,
Of course.
What does that mean? Because when I was growing up, I was thinking just go get a union job, get a bunch of money put in there, and then at the end of it all, when you're 55, you graduate, you retire, and then you're just chilling. Yeah. But then now I'm thinking I'm already 30, I only have 25 years left of work, and that's retire. What? And then my job doesn't necessarily the most solid.
Yeah, thing. But I think. I don't know. It's tough. It's tough, but I think I don't know. I like it here. I think I don't know. I like Canada as well, but I don't know if I can go back to live. It's like my hometown again, Kitimat. When you go back, it's great, but I mean sometimes some of the topics is the mill's going on strike type deal. And I'm like, what? I'm like it's what? I mean, I don't even think about that stuff anymore. I have a business owner. I'm trying to work on marketing and building podcasts, and then it's you're going on strike.
You're tapped into a global city. If you think about it, Taipei, Taiwan, in Asia is the hub. All of the biggest museum exhibits, all of the biggest stars, all jumping down. What I thought when I was in Vancouver, I was Vancouver obviously is dope. Yeah,
Vancouver's good.
West Coast, but it's
West
not
Coast,
quite as big. Not quite as big as Taipei. So
I think Vancouver's spread out too, right? It's because Canada's so spread out, right? Okay. Taipei's, I think, more compressed. I love it. I don't have a car. I have no intention of buying a car here ever because I don't need one. I have the restaurant and things are good, but it's I have a scooter, don't need a car. I can walk everywhere or taxi, Uber, whatever. I don't know. I think,
and that's the thing. Necessary. We got Uber, we got all of this stuff. This city and this country is really good for good. Businesses.
I love it here.
Really
and I mean, doing what I'm doing here. I mean, to set up this in Vancouver, how tough is that going to be?
All the
next
red
to
tape,
Earls and stuff. I mean,
even the government, I feel would be more difficult to get stuff done, and the taxes you have to pay would be greater.
How much money? Yeah, for sure. It's the good thing about Taiwan is our first place. We opened up the gate and we're like, come on in, you're open. And then we got a license eventually.
And it just speaks to the fact that it's that due to all of the night markets you see,
that's
an
I love
entrepreneurial venture right there. Every single night, a person going out and doing it their own business, small business. Where do you see that in Canada?
No, you can't.
Anywhere. Is it the temperature or is it some monopoly, don't get any.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it's a little bit of both, but I also think for example, we have these little platforms outside and people will just ask if they can pop up and sell food or sell like handmade purses or whatever. I'm like, yeah. So they pop up and sell them, and they're like, oh, we can give you a cut. I'm like, I don't need a cut. Just sell your thing, try it out.
Double and a half.
And I'm like, just take it, whatever you want, try it out, see if it works, right?
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool, man. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work, but sometimes it just takes a few times, right? But I think it's cool, man. I love it. I never thought I'd be doing what I'm doing, but I love it, man.
Like about the situation with the corona thing, like how was it so well handled here?
Yeah.
And like back home, like even in like our province. Let's not say the country. Let's say the province. Like we have a similar healthcare system.
Yeah.
Like we have like provided by the government. I would assume that the reporting between doctors is very tight.
Yeah.
But like for some reason, like they're living in like inside all the time. And we never got shut down. We never shut down.
Yeah. No, I think here they've done well, and I think SARS. Were you here for that? You weren't here for SARS.
I was
right?
in Canada for that. My girlfriend.
I was here for SARS, dude.
Okay,
yeah. I mean, but I was young. Like I was like, I think I just got here, maybe first or second year, so I was like 24, maybe.
Okay.
And everyone's like,
SARS,
how's SARS affecting you? And I'm like 24 in Asia. I didn't, zero. I'm a single guy in Asia. I mean, just don't go to the hospital. You're good, But I mean, yeah, I know it was a bad thing. I don't want to, talk like it was something light, but for me personally, I had no wife, I had no kids, I had just myself. I'm like, God, it's pretty easy to just take care of yourself, I think, right? Because when you have a kid and a wife and you make a business or something, it's definitely it's more work for sure.
That's the thing. I wonder about that. Like, if you care about taking care of yourself, would it be less or more difficult to do so on your own? Maybe on your own, maybe you have less extraneous parts, people coming and infecting you. But then as you're on your own, maybe you're going to clubs more, maybe you're going to
I was totally going to clubs all the time.
You're just getting infected with all the SARS.
But I got no infections. I was good. I was lucky. I got no infections.
No SARS, a little HIV. But
there you go. Yeah, well, not that one. But luckily.
No, that's no joke.
A couple scares, but No, cool, dude. Let's grab the next one. So this one is a sauce by a locally made sauce from a company called Flavor the World, and I thought I'd just throw it in the mix today. So it's
I can see their chilies.
It's a sauce that's made for Taiwanese vegetarian where there's no onion, no garlic. So I thought let's throw it in and mix it up.
Is that a type of vegetarian?
Yeah. Oh my
no
gosh.
Onion,
yeah.
No
When
garlic?
you're
I've heard
a
of vegan, but
what
is this?
So in Taiwan, there's a type of like a Buddhist kind of vegetarian that no onions, no garlic, obviously no meat. So that's a little
What's
bit
the
of
rationale behind the onions and the garlic?
There's some kind of Buddhist, I don't know, something that says these certain vegetables, I don't know, this type of vegetable is hot and it makes you hot, so don't take them. Something like that. I obviously butchered that, but that's what I've pieced
Anybody
together.
watching right now, please type
so
us
just
in.
let them know. Yeah, we have no idea. But I know that, I know that's a little bit tougher to make because onions and garlic's always a base for everything.
I think
right?
like a working out tip. I think like Arnold Schwarzenegger, like he ate like a bunch of raw onions every single day. So maybe there is some anabolic thing in there.
Maybe that's possible.
Like
so they don't want you to drink that, or eat that. So
So
let's
grab
it.
We're
But this guy made
hottest chili
But
in the
this
world
guy made a
instead.
good sauce with no onion, no garlic.
Straight.
So
I'll
it's
take
good stuff. Yeah, go for it, man.
What was that? That was the.
It's called the Samedi sauce. Yeah, so go for it. Yeah,
Samedi?
Samedi. Yeah, yeah. It's a
Okay.
friend of mine. I don't know why,
Dope.
but yeah. Anyways, yeah.
Here we go.
I don't think it's too spicy.
It's almost like a little bit vinegary. I don't know if that is. Is that what that is? Is that what I'm tasting right now?
Yep.
My palate.
The palate
Just ruined it with all the coffee I drink every day. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
A little bit spicier.
And I like it's almost like a little bit of freshness too, due to the
something different.
the,
Yeah,
sort of like the
I haven't had that one in a little while.
Reminds me of a Sunamono salad. You know that little spritz? Sunamono?
No, I don't.
It's
I
like
don't know what
the-
that is, dude. Yeah,
The white rice.
I like the name though.
Yeah, like if you go to a Japanese restaurant, they'll give you the little rice noodles with like a little like lemon on the side and like the white wine
Oh,
vinegar.
okay. Yeah.
You want something right here?
Do I? Oh, thank you. Thanks for that, brother.
Let me know too.
I will.
You're like, oh yeah, you got some too. I'm like, what?
No, you're good. Yeah. Thanks, brother. So what are you, obviously you're modeling, doing the acting, all that. So you have to keep fit, right? So what is it? How are you keeping fit?
Right. I was thinking about
for your
that.
height, you're so thin.
I know,
but you're ripped and you're strong.
I only
weigh.
I had 73 kg, bro.
That's crazy.
That's so little. I know. I'm trying to bulk. Recently.
No, that's not a bad thing, man. You're still young, so. After 35-ish or whatever,
so?
you're gonna be saying the opposite. Because I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, it's rough. It's definitely rough. But what do? You just got a fast metabolism, or are you watching your diet, or what?
I don't like to eat that much either. I've never really been an eater. I don't know. Some people are like that. I know Cody Garbrandt. I was watching one of his interviews, and he said that. He's like, I'm not an eater. So I'm like, okay, this is a real thing. Because like for me, like if I'm eating anything in the morning for breakfast, it's like either fruit or I'm drinking my oatmeal. Like I don't like super thick stuff. Like people get the sandwiches, they'll get like the eggs, the bacon.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Strong guys that I wish I would be. Like that's how they eat.
Yeah, sure.
So I'm not doing that. So like I'm staying thin there. And then lunchtime, I'm usually like you said, without having a car, bro. So I'm like always on walking. The MRT. I'm always walking. The temperature isn't so cold, so I'm obviously burning calories and sweat.
For sure.
So there's that. But definitely, I think from like the BJJ,
for sure,
3 to 4 days a week, and then
is that how often you
between.
go? Damn.
Yeah, trying.
Okay. Yeah. Do you do the Muay Thai Tuesday thing as well, or
no?
You don't do that. No. So it's BJJ's 3 to 4 a week, right?
Well, this is the thing. I go to Mr. Fair's.
Mr. Fair's, shout out
Sunday.
To the man.
Yeah, shout out Mr. Fair's.
Shout out to Mr. Fair's. You gotta come out. You gotta come out.
Fair's Academy. John Chow, Bailu,
Leo Duan, I think. Is it Leo Duan? I think it's Leo Duan. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's like I love to go to Mr. Fair's class because for me, like if you can find a person to teach you, like that's like the ideal, especially for jiu-jitsu,
who knows you and stuff, right?
And you almost it's almost easier to listen to too, because like he's like an older gentleman, so like my dad's an older gentleman. He's like like strict guy, so it's easier. Maybe I can take that in.
You can understand. It's easier to I understand.
It's easier to bow down and listen, like that sort of thing.
Sure.
So it's like sorry.
Actually, I have a story about that too. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And so so there's that. But then, so I go to him Sunday, Mondays, and Thursdays, and then I go to UFC gym also.
Okay.
I train there. It's just like that's the kind of the thing, Like
that's just it's like sparring type deal. You take it as sparring. Yeah.
Everything they got like a really good.
Well, for sure, I know they have. Yeah, I know the guys.
Just for the BJJ.
Okay.
That's how I know Matt, bro.
That's how Matt. Yeah. And Matt's a great guy.
But they got really good coaches there too, man. Like Brazilian dudes, like
I had a couple guys on the show. Yeah, Bruno's fantastic. I love that guy.
They got
Brazilians are always so happy, dude. I love Brazilian people.
Yeah. They got Mario, and then they got all those dudes, and like they're like the legit black belts that fight right now, So for me to be able to have both of the styles, Mr. Ferris, who's like my rock, he's the guy. He's the one. He's like my like whenever I go, I always say I always train at TM, like I always train with Mr. Ferris and TM, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
but
sure.
At the same time, to go to UFC gym and use the different sizes of bodies, the different style they have. It's such a different style. Mr. Ferris style, I've been able to compare. It's very top heavy, pressure. You're going down, and then we get a lot of stuff from Matt at UFC gym. We'll do some leg locks. He
does the 10th Planet style leg stuff, right?
And they're really good with their legs there too. The black belts, the coaches, and everything. And they obviously know jiu-jitsu, right? So it's So I feel really fortunate to have the ability to be able to train at two places.
Nice.
But it's all love and But,
for sure. Yeah. What do you think of? What brought you to try jiu-jitsu, and why did you start at Fair's Academy?
Okay, that's cool. Yeah,
that's a good.
When I first came to Taiwan, I was I was at Taiwan BJJ.
Okay, I know them. Yeah, I know them well. I know those guys.
He's a G. Yeah, he's been doing it,
Okay,
so he's really cool.
Sure, I know those guys.
But then I went back to Canada, back and forth.
Oh shoot!
And then I met my girlfriend. She's a personal trainer. So she has a partner who worked at another gym and was training a guy for kickboxing. Ryan, his name's Ryan.
Okay.
And so they wanted to bring a guy in to spar with Ryan because he was 6'10" or so tall and so
giant.
So they're let's get this guy because he knew my girlfriend that had a boyfriend, me, that could fight, and I was training for a Sanda tournament at the time.
Okay.
So he's like, hey, bring Roger down, blah blah blah, do some rounds. It'll be good for him too, and it'll be good for you. So it's okay. So we met up, we did our thing, we fought, we had some good time, trained together, and then he's the one that hit me up. He's like, yo, bro, I found this spot, Fair's Academy, it's really good. You should come and check it out. And then it was kind of funny. He's in his message, he's gonna be hard on you like he was on me. Just be ready for that. I'm it's you're already getting me ready, right? He's like, class starts at 7 or 7:30, but be there at 7:15. Don't be late.
Okay.
So already letting me know the tone,
Okay.
Legit, follow the rule, da 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 da. I like that, that structure. So like that's how I got invited and learned about Mr. Ferris, and that's like over 3 years ago.
Is that how long you've been going?
Yeah,
3 years, dude.
Yeah. But when I did my first kickboxing tournament in Vancouver, 2012.
Okay.
My first kickboxing, I was doing a little bit of nogi BJJ and nogi stuff since then.
Okay.
But
okay. Nice.
I really say that my full BJJ experience, like adventure, started when I came to Mr. Ferris. And I set 2 feet in.
That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah,
he's a great guy for sure. Yeah, I love it, and I think it's yeah, of course. Yeah. Jeez, yeah, no, for sure.
He's great.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't say the other.
I love going. I'm trying to get out more. Just my problem is it's evenings. And evenings is like when it's busy here, right? I can't get out of here on an evening. So I was able to squeeze out a Thursday, and I'm gonna try Monday, because Mondays, I mean Sunday, forget about it, but Mondays, it's possible. So I'm gonna try to get out more.
Dude, if you can get in 2 days a week, man,
yeah,
you're gonna see your level improve so fast. It's gonna be wild.
I know, and also I would like to try the Tuesday as well, to be honest. Yeah, because there's a kid there, right? So I was asking him. No, I was asking him because if I can do that, then my daughter can come. She loves it, right? She loves BJJ. She loves all that stuff. And if we can get that, then maybe I can also bring my wife. And we can make like a family, because it's like a family day. Okay. And it's like one of the days where it's like a family day.
So it's not like you're ditching the family. If you
it's like the family comes, right? Bring the family, and it's good exercise, right?
Totally, yeah.
And I think it's good to have a stand-up
My
game.
girlfriend, dude, like I was always trying to, I'm like, dude, kickboxing, come on, like TMMA, because I used to train at TMMA.
Sure.
Those guys are killer. I did a Muay Thai and a Sanda tournament through TMMA. They're really good.
Beautiful.
And like,
how's your beer? You want another beer?
I'm good, man. Let's get another one.
Let's get another one. All right, I'll call these guys over. Keep going, yeah.
But like, dude, like my girlfriend, she was like scared to try it, and then she did it, and then like
two number
she
twos,
fell in love.
2 number 2s, yeah.
Yeah,
just change the cup, yeah.
Yeah, we'll do the Russian one, right?
Yeah, let's do the Russian. Let's just get 2 cups of Russian lager, yeah? The Soviet lager, yeah.
Dude, man, look at the alphabet.
Shout out to the
alphabet. That's so crazy.
I know,
right?
yeah. So shout out to the we got a new. Actually, this last 2 weeks, we had lots of new beers on. So one of them is this Russian lager
Where's
Soviet lager. They're all locally brewed, but this is a recipe from like old school Soviet Union that a Russian guy brought here, and they started brewing.
Interesting.
It. So it's pretty cool.
They went through
it's
some
really
hard
good
times
too.
on this beer, bro.
For sure, yeah.
Right?
So I thought let's try it out.
Yeah, straight. So when you tried it, what did you think?
I like it. I mean, I'm not a super lager guy, but that's nice. I like it.
I don't like anything too like high on the BTU. Is that what it is?
IBUs, yeah. Well, the bitter stuff, right?
Yeah, man.
You know what's crazy? That's the best selling stuff by far.
Really?
Like,
I think that's like a new trend, bro.
I think it's more like American-ish style. Like most of the customers that come, the beer guys or like the American guys.
Yeah.
They're all about like the double IPAs and stuff. Like it's crazy. Yeah. Sells well. We have some of that if you want to try it later.
God no. Thanks. Yeah. No.
Yeah, dude. I think. I was saying we were talking about the older gentleman thing. My first few months here, I actually went to a Jeet Kune Do school. Ooh. And the original one of the coach guys, the sensei, whatever, it's like an older guy. He's got like pictures with like Bruce Lee and stuff. Like, so it's good. It's good. And I was learning some really cool stuff with the Wing Chun dummy and stuff. And then he's like, well, he runs the school in Taichung, and his son runs the one here. And it was cool. But eventually, the son, it was younger than I was, and I was like 25, right? So it was a really good experience. I learned some cool stuff. But I think definitely with the youth, it's like, talking about Xbox, downloading Xbox games and stuff. I'm like, well, that's
not why I'm here.
That's cool.
That's not
it's like $1,000 an hour. This class is like $1,000 an hour, which I'm cool with. But I kind of want to learn how to kick some ass or how to, learn a little Wing Chun. Like they have the Wing Chun.
Learn a little Wing Chun, bro.
It's like they got the
down.
dummies, the Wing Chun dummy and stuff. And it was cool. Eventually, they disappeared and I stopped going, which sucks. But
dude, Jeet Kune Do, man, what is that basically? That's just like basically like street
it's kind of like
fighting,
MMA, kind of, but it's just like stand up.
And pull their hair.
Well, yeah, we never learned that, but yeah,
Dude,
I mean, I sucked, so yeah.
Like, did you never know? Like, there's this trick I think from Jeet Kune Do. Like, I looked it up on YouTube, and
okay,
they say if you bite somebody, right? Like, feel this, like just pinch yourself, like not so bad, right?
Okay.
But now pinch and like grind. Now that actually is more painful.
Oh yeah.
So if you were to bite somebody, to make most painful, you wouldn't just simply bite. You would bite and grind your teeth to make it worse. And then there's another one like
bite and grind, everybody.
Bite and grind, as they say.
That's what you need.
But like, there's another one with the hair situation. If you were to just simply pull your hair for me, Eddie. Let's just see. Now twist your fingers as you pull. Twist like this. Far more painful.
Oh wow, yeah.
So that's so interesting too. So if you're gonna grab somebody's hair, do you pull it or do you like twist it and then like feed those shots?
I never even thought about that, man.
Right? That's the thing.
crazy
like,
stuff.
How do you bite someone to make the most pain? How do you pull their hair to make the most pain? Like that's all Jeet Kune Do.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Cheers. All right. Cool.
Oh shoot, we got his glasses too. Nice.
Dope.
Well, cheers, man.
Cheers, my man. Thank you, sir. So what is this on the thing here?
So this is it's like one of the breweries from Russia. Yeah. Craft beer brewery. Yeah, so when I came here, I thought martial arts and kung fu would be everywhere, but it was a little tougher to find. Yeah, like I came a long time ago though, so yeah,
it's interesting. Yeah. I feel like martial arts and stuff like that has actually like become more popular.
For sure.
When I first came here, BJJ was like Taiwan. BJJ was like the only spot I knew about. Mr. Fairs was going. Fairs Academy was going.
We can get round 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's grab this one. Yeah.
All right. What's this one?
This is a Korean sauce. It's our only kind of fusion sauce.
Interesting.
This is used to have a guy that worked here with us, and his family owned a Korean place for a while, and I was like, dude, Korean sauce for the hot wing sauce. Look it up. So taught us how to do it, and we have.
They do have some spice over there in Korea, man. I'm telling you.
They do. Korea's pretty good. Yeah.
Let's
go for it. Drumstick, man.
I do want the drumstick. Is that okay?
I know. Of course, dude. Take all the drumsticks, man.
You want some onions on there?
No, do your thing. I'm good. Cheers, man.
Cheers.
How's that?
Yeah. Tastes like kimchi.
Yeah.
You know? You're like, oh, I know.
Yeah. Have you been over to Korea?
No, dude. No? I want to get over.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Have you been?
Yeah, I went once. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Is it good?
Yeah. I like the food. The food was great.
Is it cheap over there? I heard kind of pricey.
No. More expensive than here.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Dude, my friend's in China right now, and he said that everybody there is getting at least $40 an hour starting, like as like a teacher or something like that. And I was like, why is that? And he's like, because there's just so many people here that I guess like they have to pay like so high to get a part of anything.
Well, most of the people that I interview on this show, whether they're like musicians or teachers or anybody, when they go to China, they're always like, it's way more money, just because population.
Yeah.
I mean, I know
scarcity
some people
of resources, right?
Some people do, like, you know, what is that online one? Like teach ABC or whatever. Tutor ABC, yeah.
I did a commercial for those guys.
Did you? Yeah.
I was a waiter.
So some people do that sort of thing from here in China, and the pay's better.
Interesting.
So it's like, oh, that's cool.
See, it's about that market, bro. You gotta find that market.
It is. Yeah, for sure.
This one was pretty good.
It's not bad, right? It's not too spicy. Round two.
So how are we using these wet naps, bro?
Just
as you go.
Just open them up, man. I just like to keep myself clean, so I try.
Moist over here.
I stay moist, exactly. Yeah, it's just a wet nap, wet wipe. Yeah.
Dope. Ooh, look at these, man.
So you're teaching. Oh shoot! You know what? Let's bring up a teaching picture here. Hold up.
Thank you very much.
Look at that. Let's talk a bit about your teaching.
Dude, my getting hot. Maybe I'll take my...
You good? Jeez, I can't even find anything. Okay, well, you do a little teaching. There's a picture of you. There's a picture of you and one of you guys.
Godagoo. That's Mr. Godagoo, and that's Eddie over there.
So what is that, dude? What is that? Good name.
This is through Joy English.
Okay.
Now, Joy English has created a new series of textbook called We Kids. Now, this is an opportunity for young learners to learn English and also to interact, doing some fun activities.
Okay.
And Mr. Godagoo, he's actually the imaginary best friend of the child actors.
Your guy,
Yeah.
Oh,
so I get to give
shout out to Mr. Godagoo, man.
Yeah, the opportunity to sort of like mentor and help out with maybe like washing your hands, how to brush your teeth, playing safely at the park, crossing the street safely. It's almost like like an interaction, and the child actor is so great. They're just like, like they get to do the thing and show it off, and
that's cool.
Fun. And it's something
that's like a Blue's Clues style deal.
Yeah,
or like,
really, like Chowhu.
Okay,
like,
Chowhu, yeah.
Similar.
Chowhu's massive out here, dude.
That's dope. Chowhu's a good guy. Chowhu's a good guy.
Shout out to Chowhu, man. What about so this is also another event,
dude?
Think,
yeah,
right?
that's another one.
The same deal or what?
This was actually through it's like that really famous mall that was like a bunch of circles that's kind of by like
the Living Mall.
And it got torn down.
Yeah, that one.
That
was massive.
That was there.
That's at the Living Mall. Okay.
Yeah, they had like an aquatic special
so that exhibition. Mall, I was here when they were finishing building that thing. There was so much like hype on that mall. Yeah. And it was like
it's a beautiful mall.
It was cool. Yeah.
Cool.
I think
nobody went there.
I think what happened was the location wasn't so good. But I mean, I went. They had a movie theater in the basement, right? They had clubs on the top floors.
That's dope.
If you ever went out to the clubs, I mean, there was at one point where the best clubs were top floors of Living Mall. Yeah, expensive, like $4.50 a drink, but
interesting.
You know, when you're a single guy, you're like, whatever, right? Yeah. So now I'll be like, hell no, I ain't paying that shit, you know. But I gotta pay for my daughter's jujitsus, man. You know,
right? That's it.
She's got a couple
clubs
jiu-jitsu.
On the top of
no more club. Yeah,
there is that one club on the top of the roof. I forget the name of it. It's like so killer. I went to it recently. Like you look out and it's like you can see Taipei 101 right over there. It's known for what it is. Man, it escapes me right now too.
Dude, I gotta be straight up. I haven't been to a club in at least a decade, man. It's been a long time because my daughter's 8. You know, we're busy out here. That's why.
What does that say about clubs?
I know.
Why would you go, right? If you're like, no, I have a family, I'm settled down, so it's like.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty. I mean, it's fun when you're a single guy and so when you're a younger guy. I think it's fun.
That's how I met my girlfriend.
It's fun.
8 years at the club.
So that's
shout out Roxy99.
Shout out to Roxy, Roxy99 and Roxy Vibe and Roxy Junior and all the Roxys. Rocker. There were so many back in the day. Yeah, the Roxys were sick, man, for sure.
Dude, yeah, that was the spot though. Like it was like, that's the thing too. I never knew about an all-you-can-drink bar. Like, what is that?
There was
I never
when
knew
I
that existed.
When I came here, that's how I found that. Like, there was one called B1, like a basement one, and it was like we went in, and they're like, I paid like I think it was 500 NT. I'm like, oh, that's pretty high cover, right? Damn, okay, whatever. So you go in, and then you go up to get a drink. I can't remember what I was drinking, beer or whatever. And then I'm like, I go to pay, and they're like, no, you already paid. I'm like, what? And they're like, yeah, no, it's all you can drink. And I'm like,
what?
Come again? All you can drink all night? Like, what's the time limit? They're like, no time limit.
Just don't puke. If you puke, you're up.
Yeah,
that's pretty much the rule.
Is it?
Isn't that crazy? Yeah.
I never even heard of that. I never heard that.
If you puke,
I was
out,
like, all you can eat? I'm in. Yeah, let's do it. So
but we did. That's the thing, dude. This is what I think. I don't know. This is my little hunch.
I don't think that would work back home.
I feel that's would it or would it not? Think about this, because I feel like
it's gonna have to be a high.
All of the movies made in Hollywood have given the perception that Americans have house parties, have crazy club parties, If you want to be cool, like everything's got to be like it's in Vegas.
Okay, sure.
So now, when other countries see those videos and that cultural display, they presume, hey, this is what we need to do. No, we need to copy this to have this here so that it's like the same.
Okay.
But that's not what it's really like.
Yeah.
You know?
No, definitely.
So when I came to Asia, I feel like
for sure.
Dude, Luxy and like all those clubs where you go in,
they're
people are
super
dancing around,
nice.
throwing fire. I'm like, I've never been to a club like this.
Yeah.
But everybody that I'm meeting
and you're from Vancouver.
Like, they're telling me like, wow, you must be a crazy club guy from Vancouver. You guys have the craziest club. I'm like, not like this, you know?
And what was the big one? Luxy was like the best,
right? But the perception is that the Western culture has like these crazy club environments. But I feel like the club environment in Asia is much greater.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel that maybe that comes from a perception that they have to outdo or maintain the same.
The Hollywood movies, right?
It's a misperception.
Yeah.
Because it's Hollywood created.
Yeah, for sure.
So what do you think about that?
For sure. I think, well, obviously where I live, there's no clubs. There's one bar. It's kind of like, there's a couple of liquor stores. And with Kitimat, it's not a club place. We would drive 45 minutes over to Terrace because they had a couple more. I grew up with that. I thought it was fun. I mean, when I went to Nanaimo for school, I was like, wow,
Nanaimo,
big city, right? And it was great. Nanaimo was great. My sister actually lives there now. I haven't been back there since I left, so I want to go check it out again. I think yeah, when I came here, some of the clubs were just like, they blew me away. I was like, damn, you know, I was like, these are crazy. And they're like, yeah, same thing. They were just kind of like, well, you come from, you know, Canada must have more. I'm like, Canada don't have these clubs. This is crazy, yeah. You know, because in Canada it probably costs 100 times more to build them, you know. Totally. So I was like, damn, okay, shoot.
And they were like smoking in the clubs here.
Yeah, people were smoking, yeah. So and all you can drink was
that's the crazy.
That's
part.
crazy.
That probably wouldn't fly. I don't know. Is it the amount of people that can drink or larger? Like,
I think people could drink more. I don't know if it's. I think higher tolerance for alcohol. Maybe. Ooh, I don't know.
Yeah, perhaps.
Maybe
like the way it's processed.
I think so. I don't know. But I think that it wouldn't. But who knows? You can try. I mean, I think.
Like,
I've done
some
here.
Dudes can drink like 16 beers and be okay, you know, like some
crazy.
Like some big ass dude, you know, like
yeah, some of them not even big. They just come in and it's like,
bang, it's like the worst liver in the world.
For me, I'll drink like a few and I'm buzzed. But I mean, if I'm drinking something heavy duty, like 3, I'm toast. You know, I'm like, oh my gosh,
dude, look at me. Then, you know, nothing but skin and bones.
And then the next day, I'm like, forget about it, man. It
dude,
sucks.
right? The headache.
It's like, yeah, it's bad. Yeah.
That's the thing. Yeah.
You get a headache just thinking about it. Yeah. Let's grab the next one, dude. Let's see what we got.
What do we got?
What do we got?
This is an interesting white sauce.
What do we got over here? Well, this is like a step up in spice. This is made with the bird's eye chili peppers, right? So let's try it out, man.
Okay.
Give it up.
Rock, paper, scissors for the drum.
No, do your drums, bro.
Sure? Do your drums.
I'll check the
travel to the beat of a different drum.
I'll check how we're doing here. Yeah, we're doing all right. Yeah.
Here we go.
Let's go. Shout out to the drums. Hot, man.
Not so bad.
Yeah, it's just, yeah.
Yeah. It's almost like a curry, like a butter chicken thickness, you know?
Yep. I try to do a little bit of a creamy,
creamy
style when I do that, yeah.
Wow.
Hot sauces are weird. Sometimes they just go up and down in spice level.
How do you mean?
Because fresh chili peppers, if you ferment them, sometimes, you know, they just go up and down in spice level. How are you for spice usually? You're pretty good?
Spice is nice, man. I love spice.
You love spice?
Tell
Good,
me,
good.
Give me more.
All right, I think you'll like the next couple then. So you did a couple tournaments here, right?
Yeah.
So maybe tell me a little bit about some of the tournaments you had. I got a picture of some tournament here somewhere. I got too many pictures of you, dude. There you go. Shoot. Yeah, there you go. I actually saw this one. This is actually the first time I met you.
Yeah, dude.
Paul, shout out to Paul.
Was he the one that brought you?
Paul brought me because I love because we watch UFC all the time and he's like, yeah, you got to come out and watch some fights, and I'm like, okay. And I saw Steven out there. I met Steven, and I saw you fight, and you were actually right there. You were you messed that dude up. Hopefully, I don't know who he is. It was a pretty crazy fight, man.
That fight, cool, I kind of remember. Like I was doing pretty good on the standing, and then he caught my kick in like the last minute. Right? Yeah, in the last minute he caught my kick.
Yeah, I remember that.
And we went down, and then he caught me in a straight ankle lock. And I remember, I think it might have been Steven or somebody else. They're like, strike him, because I'm in the thing, right? But we were doing D-League, so there was only jiu-jitsu on the ground. So there was no strikes on the ground.
You can't strike on the ground.
So like, as I'm winding up to smash him right in the stomach, I'm gonna get the, and then I'm like, I can't do that. And then luckily though, the time ran out.
I remember that.
Solid straight ankle lock. He had me. You know?
Especially if you can't get out, you're like sitting there getting crushed.
And dude, it's kind of funny because Mr. Ferris is my BJJ coach.
Yeah, and he was reffing. I think,
I've had 3 tournaments through his MMA.
Okay.
Like league. And every time he always tells me, don't let it go to the ground.
Okay. Oh, really?
Like, you're my BJJ coach.
That's funny. Oh, that's funny.
Like, thanks for the confidence, bro.
That's so funny.
But
don't let it go to the ground.
Right? Like, imagine that. Like, you know, you're like, all right, like, you're my BJJ coach. And like, all right. Yeah. And he's like, I'm your BJJ coach. I teach you everything you know. don't use it.
Don't use it, though.
You're not ready. You're not ready. No, but like, he's chill. And like, I think like what he was saying is like, your stand-up is like probably stronger. So like, use your strong
Well, you've been doing the stand-up for a long time, right?
Yeah, like almost 8 years, yeah.
Oh, shoot.
So like
Taekwondo you started?
Dude, I started Taekwondo when I was like 5, you know,
okay.
Like your daughter like starting in the martial arts. And then
you recommend Taekwondo or?
Well, dude, it's so weird because that style is carried over, man. And like I'm a kicker now. Like even like everybody says that. They're like, oh, like your style, you're like more of a kicker, like blah blah blah. And like I think that if you can use your kicks effectively, it's really good.
Yeah.
But I would say that if you're not using your hands, like when I first joined kickboxing at Franco's Kickboxing and MMA.
Oh shoot, I know him. Yeah,
you know Franco's?
Yeah.
Say what? No way.
Yeah.
Chris Franco?
Yeah. I know. I think so. Yeah.
What? That's gangster.
It's like a super buff
dude. He's
right?
so jacked. Yeah, what?
For sure.
Dude, that's
I
so
follow
cool.
him on Facebook. Yeah, for sure.
Dude, yeah. He was the first guy that ever taught me like real fighting. I think. Like, real fighting. I was doing Taekwondo, and then like he taught me real fighting, and like it was kind of cool because he put me in the beginners class for like 8 months. 8 goddamn months.
And you're like, what? I'm a black belt.
No. Well, not like that. But like when I first started, so I was like still like really new. But like other kids in my group were graduating to the advanced class, but not me.
Not you.
And like I was like thinking, I'm like, should I ask this guy or like tell him like I'm down
What's
to do it?
going on?
But I didn't say anything.
Okay,
right?
yeah.
And then like, but now as I look back on it, like he was breaking my bad Taekwondo habit. Not to say that Taekwondo was a bad habit to have, but for what we're doing with a mixed martial art environment, for me, when I would strike, I would like, I'd maybe like side kick my way in, and then when I get close to belly, like in Taekwondo, like you can maybe punch him and then push away and kick. Or like just leave your hands up and you're close, right? Yeah. So what I would do is I would kick my way in, get really close, and put my hands up like this, like I was wearing the shield still, and we're like belly to belly. And I'm like, dude, if this is a real fight and you're like this, you know, you're gonna
that's probably not a good idea,
right?
Yeah.
So like it was kind of interesting, and so after 8 months, he's like, yeah, now you're ready to go up. And then I did my first tournament and got gold. I fought 4 dudes.
In one day?
4 guys that day, yeah.
Really? Shoot.
Yeah, that was sweet, yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, and like that was a really cool one because I was at the YMCA in Vancouver doing my sit-ups, right? I'm just like doing sit-ups, you know, I'm like what was this, 2012, so I'm 22 years old, I'm just doing sit-ups in the YMCA. And then like the guy's like, he's like this other dude, like maybe another young guy in college. His name's Marshall, he's a pretty big photographer now. He's like, hey man, like what are you doing? Like are you like training for something? Like blah blah blah. I'm like, yeah, actually I have a tournament, I'm gonna do this. He's like, well, I'm in the college here and I need to do a photo journalism project and I wanted to make it about sports. He's like, would you be down to like work together? I'm like, what?
Oh, yeah, you want to do an expose on me?
Dude, that was it.
Hell
and
yeah.
so like this is so crazy. So I picked Marshall up on the day of the fights. I picked my best buddy up, AJ. He's like my homie, you know, like comes down with me.
What's up, AJ?
Yeah, what's up, AJ?
AJ.
So like I got Marshall here, I got AJ here, and like just the 3 of us were driving to the fights, and then like we're all like listening to like the rules and I'm getting scared and like all this stuff.
Of course, yeah.
And then like at the end of it though, like I got the gold medal and I can barely walk, you know. And then like I was like, I've never won anything before, and like that was the quote that like Marshall used at the end of his photojournalism.
Nice.
But it was really cool because he even came to my house and like my dad set up our garage so that I had a hanging bag. So I was like punching the bag every morning at 6 a.m. before I go to college. And then like I was like did all this stuff, and then like my dad is like putting my helmet on for me and lacing it up, and we got a good picture of that. Like it looks really cool.
That's pretty sweet.
So
dude.
thanks Marshall for even having the confidence to approach me to ask me like what
that's
are you
very
doing?
cool.
That's like big on his side, and then like that's probably why he gets the gigs he does now, because you know like
that's pretty sick. Yeah, that's really cool, man.
And it was a really meaningful experience for me, and all the more better, I was like gold, you know. I didn't
well,
get my teeth
he's
broken.
probably thinking like, yes, I picked the right guy. Yes,
straight up
you know,
too, right? A little bit.
There's nothing worse than, you know, like if you were like out in the first round, you'd be like, oh.
Ooh, thanks, Roger. I'll get a ride home with this guy.
I'll be printing that story out.
I'm gonna follow this dude instead. I'm gonna get a ride home with this guy.
And he's just like, shit, I wasted all this time. Yeah, that's so funny.
But it was just pretty cool, yeah, man. And like, so it worked out for everyone. And then in a small way, it kind of helped. Like, not really helped because I don't think that the pictures did work out at the very end. But it was an opportunity to bring Mr. Fairs in with Marshall to get some pictures for his school too. So it was all 3 of us because I was training with Mr. Franco at his gym, and that's when the pictures were doing too. So all 3 of us kind of benefited from that.
Very
so it was
cool.
just neat.
That's cool, man.
And that was kind of reminiscent of the thing that we did with Mr. Fairs when I had the interview.
That video thing, right? Yeah,
so
that thing is cool, man. Yeah,
so I'm very fortunate that I've been able to like be a part of interesting things.
I think it's great.
Think it's just, you know, like doing what you like to do, being passionate about it. People see that passion and they're like, let's follow this a bit.
And I also think karma, right? I think you're a good guy, so people are just like, you know, people just, you know, like, I don't know, just you're a good guy. I was sitting here, I was like a week ago, Mr. Fairs, let's call him Mr. Fairs. Yeah, he's not gonna like that, Mr. Fairs. But he was sitting over there, and Kemp and them were over here, and Matt and Antoine were sitting over there, and we were sitting chatting, and it was good. And we were just chatting, and Matt was also saying that, you know, he loves you. You're such a good guy, happy,
I'll take it, yeah.
just so
Our
happy, and
brown
just
belt.
like when he thinks of a Canadian, just like happy, like surfer dude, like just happy,
West Coast baby,
West Coast baby, you know, like so he's just like, it's always cool, and I agreed. So
thanks, man. Cheers to that.
I think
I'm glad that we got together, man.
Yeah, me too, brother. Yeah, I think that I also teach my daughter the same thing. Like just be nice to everybody, and then if someone screws you over, maybe give them another chance or two. And if they just keep screwing you over, then just don't hang out with them anymore. Then that's it. But don't sit. There's
stew over it.
Stewing is like the worst thing,
Yeah.
and I find that a lot here, where people will just be like. So I was dating this girl way back, and her best friend.
Her boyfriend.
No.
Oh, look at you over here.
That's a different story. That's a different story.
Like
No, so her best friend was dating a foreigner, right? And he basically he dumped her or whatever. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And it's always like when two people are dating a foreigner and they're like, oh, my friend's Canadian too, and then they introduce you, you're like, what's up? Canadian, eh? Sweet. That's it, right? Yeah. Like, okay, pretty sweet.
Do you know him?
Yeah. Do you know him? Yeah, he's Canadian too.
Canada's not so small.
Okay, maybe. So basically, eventually he dumped her, and they were, she was, I don't know, heartbroken, blah blah blah, and she was stewing over that. And I was having like coffee with my girlfriend at the time, and she's just like, this guy telling me the story. This guy dumped her and blah blah blah. I'm like, well, we're like 25. I'm like, okay. I'm thinking to myself, we're 25. Who cares, right? I'm like, okay, but I'm like, oh, that sucks, Like, well, a lot of fish in the sea. What do you want me to say, right? I'm like, okay, cool. And she's like, no. She's thinking of. So this girl is thinking about reporting him to the police at rape or some kind of abuse or something, so that his ARC gets canceled. And I'm like, what?
Because he dumped her.
Yeah, I'm like, what?
Dude, that's the thing. You don't ever know who you're getting involved with.
Yeah, I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, yeah, he's thinking about
Either
this.
side.
And she's asking me, she's like, oh no, what do you think? I'm like, if she does that, I'm dumping you. Because what are we doing here? I'm like, this is crazy. I'm like, this is just a guy who. What are you talking? You're gonna destroy this guy's life?
Maybe he was onto something.
I'm like, what are we doing here? We destroy lives?
Saw this coming.
Like, what are we doing here? We're destroying people? That's crazy.
Right.
Like, just get over it. What are you gonna do? That's life. You can't be
That's
like,
the thing.
I'm trying to kill this guy. What? I'm like,
But
the guy's
sometimes
probably
when
like
you
25.
care so much about something,
Yeah.
and then the person is against that, you feel like it's like they're against you, or
Yeah.
like you're a direct competition. Like, because like I've had a situation recently with like some work,
Yeah.
where like with pictures,
Yeah.
where I'm like, I want the best pictures of me. You
Okay.
have those pictures.
Sure.
Can you just give them to me and I'll put them up on my thing?
Yeah.
And they're like, well, those are our pictures that we use to get you jobs, so we can't give away our tools for getting you jobs. And I'm like, well, this that I'm building right now could also possibly be a tool for getting us jobs. So let's,
Yeah.
And then it's like,
Why don't we
nah,
just-
like I can't do it. So then I was thinking, like, you know what? Like, here I am. Like, I could like message back and be like, I never want to contact with you again. You've wronged me. Or I could maintain the relationship,
Yeah.
but just be like, now I know what it is. Like now,
Yeah,
I know this is
now
business.
you've just been bumped down on my
little
priority
bit,
list.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah.
But then I mean, like, I guess maybe there is some business side to things. Like, I guess, like, but like, dude, those are like,
that's me.
it's not like you paid for those pictures. Like maybe if it was like a poster, and I was
Yeah.
like, I want that poster. Like, give me that poster. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
no, buddy. Like, you got paid for this. This is ours now.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
but what this was like someone taking a picture of me while I was doing the gig, so they could use the picture to put up to get me more jobs. Thanks for that. But
Okay.
now I want that picture too. So
Yeah,
I can
why
have-
not?
But
And
then,
it's like,
then
yeah.
maybe it's theirs.
You
Because
can
they're
even
the
be
ones
like-
that snapped it. They snapped the picture, so it's theirs now. But like that's what I'm doing with like an agent situation.
You can even be
But
like,
I still
hey,
love the
property
agent.
of
I'm
blah
gonna
blah
keep that
blah.
relationship.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna keep that relationship. But it's like
I think yeah,
just
it's always
know
good
what
to
it is,
keep all those bridges. I mean, a lot of people they burn bridges, and it's not a good thing.
That's it.
But
I
I mean,
feel like
you
the
just-
opportunity
but then
to
you
work
think,
and to
yeah.
be together is
Yeah.
so much better and stronger than me just being upset about it. I'll go make some other pictures then.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, that's
I
the thing.
agree.
So
Agree,
anybody
brother.
that's got that experience in your life, like, yeah, definitely like
Don't burn the bridge.
Don't burn the bridge. Straight. Yeah.
Just know.
drive over it less, or like know what
Just
kind
know
of bridge
where
it is.
that bridge lies in your life, right?
Straight,
Agree.
there it is, yeah.
Agree. Grab the green one, brother.
What's
Let's
this
go.
up?
Let's
What's
go.
this- what?
So that's jalapeno, but it's like, yeah, get on there, man. I'll tell you all about it. Yeah. Go drums, man. Go drum all the way. Go drum all the way.
So yeah, this is interesting. Why is it white?
It is simmered for a really long time with garlic and onion.
Like the antithesis of that vegetarian
Sorry.
style. Like the total of it. Brewed together with onions and garlic.
Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, that's tough. Yeah. So is your plan to stay here? It's getting spicier, right?
Getting closer. Yeah. You know when I start to hiccup?
Yeah,
when I start
okay,
hiccuping,
okay.
that's when I'm getting there.
So you've been here 8 years, right?
5, but I first touched down in 8 years. Me and my girl been together for 8 years. Yeah, she's a keeper. She's cool.
So when you went back, when you went back, shout out to your girlfriend. So when you went back, you kept the whole long distance relationship and all that?
6 months, bro.
That's
6
tough.
months alone.
That's tough. Yeah.
But,
Oh, don't touch your eyes. That's one.
no, I know, right?
That's one killer. That's one killer.
He's
Yeah.
like, yo, I just got punched in the nose. I'm gonna go like blow it out. Like
Let's
they do
go.
in the
There you
UFC,
go. There you
right?
go, dude. A little zoomer on that.
Dude, look at those beads of sweat are no joke.
Sweating, yeah. You all right or what? Yeah. That's all good. Looking good, man. So what's your plan? You want to stay? What are you thinking about staying in Taiwan permanently? Like, is that the ultimate plan? Build up a little nest egg, do
To
something
be
over
honest,
here?
like
You're not
I
sure.
almost feel like wherever I can make the most money.
Okay.
You know, because I feel like the most money might. Well, I don't know if that's necessarily true either, because I feel like the lifestyle I have here is like so good, you know, and like I probably could be making more money in BC, but like what, working in a mine, like what kind of lifestyle?
That's similar to sort of
know what
where
I mean?
I'm from. Yeah.
That's why I brought it up, because I know.
Yeah, for sure. So
go to Alcan.
yeah,
make
my
some
dad
money.
worked there. It's a great place. A lot of my friends work there. But you know, when I go back and we're chatting and stuff, it's a great place. It's called Rio Tinto now. Milk's coming out. All right.
I skipped everything to get
Yeah,
right to
there
the
you
milk.
go. So basically, it's a great place. It's basically great pay. Everything's fantastic. But I don't know.
Sounds fantastic.
So I basically, you know, when I grew up through high school, so I had a lot of older cousins that were a little bit delinquent, right? I don't, you know, little drugs got dealt here and there, right? So cut, you know. So basically, there's only one high school. So, but when I got to that high school, I was basically written off by everybody. All of the counselors and the teachers. I sucked at school. So all the counselors and the teachers, they'd all be like, telling my parents, they're like, oh, you know, he'd be really good at a trade. He'd really be good at a trade. And it's always that. Like, oh, he should do a trade, bricklayer, whatever. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I thought, I got to go out and I try it. If I fail, I can come back and then I'll get a job, whatever, right? But I'm still here 18 years later. I love it here. Doing the restaurant. We got some big plans.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the whole point of this show is these conversations. I really want to do. Obviously, I love Rogan. So I actually don't even listen to music that much anymore. I just put on like Rogan or I put on
learn
something.
some shit, right?
Yeah,
Like, dude,
that's what I do.
Yeah.
That's what I do. I'm listening to stuff, trying to learn how to like make better audio.
I'm really
how to
like,
set up
you
all this
inspired
crazy
me,
shit.
dude. This is
Thanks,
really
brother.
cool. Yeah.
Thanks, man. You
Yeah.
know, I try to do like, how can I bring up like chats? Roger, Eddy, there you go. Like, shout out, brother. You know, bring up the chat. You can bring up like the intros. You can bring up like zooms. You can bring up like, it's crazy. You can bring up like a side cam. You can bring up pictures of Roger right here. Like,
Oh God! Yeah,
boom,
that's a
great
cool one too. Yeah,
Picture of Roger right
I
there.
think
You
you
know?
call him Charlie the Chanter.
Okay.
That was for
Charlie the Chanter.
Yeah.
Shout out
What
to
was
you,
his name?
brother.
I forget his name. He was like, "Hi, I'm Charles, the circus chanter," something like that.
Yeah?
And he's like, "She put peach on top of a pizza," and then like, so the idea was like, it's an app for learning English.
Perfect.
So people can buy the app and then they can get access to learning English or learning math or learning Chinese and stories in Chinese. And so this is just the English one. And I did this through Same Best. And so
Shout out.
They gave me the idea was to do the phonics for the p sound.
P.
Yeah, p. Look at the sound. P as a change. So
Peach
the
top pizza.
that's it.
Yeah.
So I had to actually write the chant according to the words that they gave me.
It's a pretty
So they
killer
would
smile,
give me peach, they give me top, they give me pizza, they give me what, like paper, they
Okay.
give me all the P words.
Okay.
So I had to choose the P words, 3 every time, and then craft them together by making a chant.
Yeah,
so
I think
was
it's
like,
great,
in this
man.
case, let's
I
just
think
do
it's
she
great.
put peach on top of a pizza. So, but I had to do like, this was a year-long project, dude.
Okay.
I had to do like 200 vocabulary words, and of those vocabulary words, they all have a sound. And so this was like the accent on the sound of the words. This isn't even the word that we were covering. This is just a chant using the similar sound.
I think it's great, man. I also think there's a lot of people that they come out and then they teach English. Maybe they don't like kids. They kind of hate it and they're not so happy with it. When I taught, I loved it. The only reason I started doing this was because my wife was also teaching, and you know how it is when they have the local Taiwanese English teacher. They don't treat them as well as they treat us.
Right.
We get away with murder.
Yeah.
Right. Like I got away with murder all the time. Huh. And so I loved it. She was teaching. She was like, I want to try something else. So she wanted to do a coffee shop. I said, there's a lot of those.
That's the entrepreneur right there.
Yeah. I said, yeah. I'm like, I'm just down for whatever, right? But I said, I'm not a huge coffee guy. So there's one thing that I don't want to do is I cannot lie. I can't come out and be like, hey, my family's from Mexico and we were raised on coffee beans. And I drink coffee I'll drink coffee like beer. Like I'll do it socially. Let's go. We meet for a coffee in the morning. Let's have a coffee. But I can go like months with no coffee, no problem.
Interesting. What do you do to perk you up in the morning?
I got a kid that wakes me up. So, I don't have the chance. So I'll take my daughter to school and then I'll go to the gym or I'll try to do some kind of exercise in the morning, which is why I would love if Fairs had a morning class. I'd be there 5 days a week, but I can't because they don't. Right. And I mean, there are other ones downtown, but I'm stuck around here. Somebody calls in sick. Somebody, they hurt themselves or whatever. I got to be close by.
Right, on
and
call.
My daughter's in school. Sometimes I got to pick her up, take her for lunch. I got to be stuck around here. So I love Fairs. I actually talked to him about some privates.
What's Matt doing in the morning?
Yeah, I talked to Fairs about some privates. We'll see. We'll see.
You're gonna improve.
I gotta catch up to some of you guys, man.
Now.
I gotta catch up. We'll see.
I'll be waiting.
We'll see. We'll see.
You didn't say anything. I would have maybe got a Kimura. I'm like, God, where did that come from?
We'll see. We'll see because I'd like to, and I think because like I said, I love it.
Are you supposed to drink with this in there?
No. Just take it out, dude.
How do you do this?
I gotta make like a clip video of all the people that thought that this was a straw because it's like everybody's like. And it's great. It's a great
reaction. I had a Long Island
yeah.
iced tea in Kaohsiung recently, and I pulled the same maneuver, sucking on the stir stick.
And you're like, what happened to this? This straw's broken. Yeah.
What did you do for the Moon Festival? Anything interesting?
No. Well, so people always ask that, but when you have a restaurant, what do you do on your holiday? You go eat out and you go drink and stuff like that. So the restaurant was packed.
Right.
So we got to work.
Right.
We closed Monday, but I mean, so we basically just moved house, and I'm still kind of. It's been about a month and a half. It's almost where I want it to be. I actually have a little podcast set up. I'm going to set up at the house as well. So I want to do some pre-fight, post-fight, preview MMA stuff. So we'll definitely hit you up. Yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good. It'll be good, man. And it'll be good to have someone like you because you actually fight. So it's
interested too.
It's different. It's going to be great, man. I love it. I just love it. So.
I went to Kaohsiung, yo.
Yeah.
I went and saw my buddy Luke Cameron from Stone Soup. Okay. I went and saw his new movie they made. What
do you want to drink, brother?
What do you think?
You want another lager? Or you want to go ahead? Well, you don't like bitter stuff, right? What about that Marzen? Do you like Marzen? Like a little bit heavier, a little bit stronger alcohol?
Want to try it? Let's try it.
Yeah, sure. I'm good here, but I'll have one in a sec. Okay. I'll catch up in a sec. Yeah. Joe, can I get a number 3? One number 3? Yeah, so yeah. Go ahead.
This is the thing about it, man. This movie, it's called Burapha.
Okay.
The name of the movie is named after a very big festival that takes place in Thailand.
Okay.
And it's the thing about it is, though, it's interesting because it's a biker club, motorcycle club festival.
Okay.
So all of the major motorcycle clubs go to this festival, and they're all in Thailand. In Thailand.
Sorry, in Thailand.
Yeah. So you can think about it. Think about all the names, the Diablos, the Hells Angels, the Outlaws.
First of all, they have those in Thailand.
In Thailand. That's the thing about it. This is why this movie was so interesting.
Okay.
Because when they all go to Thailand, even though they're all from different rival clubs, they're all cool in Thailand. So that's so interesting.
That's Asia right there,
man.
Everyone's
what they're talking about. They're saying the lifestyle in Thailand, the relaxed, love-free, and the people are all there. It helps make an environment where you can be chill. Yeah. And also, if you do any crime there, you get a black stamp on your passport and you're never coming back. Yeah. And these guys love that environment. They love the places.
Yeah,
who doesn't love Thailand, right?
That's beautiful. Food's delicious.
The initial part of it at the beginning is how all these clubs can coexist together.
Okay.
And then the next part of it is documenting,
Leah, take a break.
all of their all of their charity work. So all of the things that they're doing for the community that surrounds like,
That's
like
cool,
all that stuff. And then the third part of it, as it changes again, is how the Australian government is pressuring the Thailand government to go after these motorcycle clubs and not allow them to wear their colors or do any of these things. Really? So that's like an international political thing, which is kind of interesting.
Thai government's like, these guys are dope, they're helping us out with the fact.
Well, you would expect
charities
that,
or
but
whatever,
at the same time, they are kind of going down a little bit too, because this is like international stuff, and like, hey, maybe the government, like they have a lot of trade with Australia, they need to like, you know, like,
that's possible. That's possible.
But
yeah.
who knows? But like the whole thing about this is it was a 4-year documentary, like that they compressed into a movie to make for a year. So they got a lot of footage, really cool shots, and like some really interesting like interviews with guys that you would like expect not to be able to talk to about certain topics. So how do you get into like the clubhouse of all these different gangs? And then it was interesting. Well, I mean, motorcycle clubs, I guess is what they call it. But it's very interesting too, because like how the movie sort of cycled around, and everybody had to okay it before it could be really released. And so that's kind of another political thing. But like that's the beauty of Thailand, is like how they're all from different places, different you know, clubs, but they're all chill in that country.
Thailand's great, man. I love the weather.
If you can come together, there.
Thailand, I mean, the food's so good. I love Thailand. I went twice. I went once. I brought my wife, and well, she was not my wife, but I proposed to her there. Like the super dude, like how romantic. We got like a.
I need some ideas.
We went to like oh
shit.
Yeah. No. So we went out. It's funny because my wife knows me as like pretty careless. Like I lose stuff. You know what I mean? It's like I don't care. You know, like earlier, one of my staff was saying, "Oh, you left your helmet on the table out there." And I'm like, yeah,
I'll get it later.
You know, and then she's like, well, you know, do you want to bring it in case someone steals it? I'm like, if someone steals it, they probably needed it more than me. You know, like I don't care. Like basically, right?
Chill, right?
I don't really care, right? You know, I'll just get another one. It's not like, you know, it's not as if I went, you know, and bought like the Mercedes Benz of helmets, right? Like I don't care, right?
Because that's why I don't. If I did buy that Mercedes,
well, that's exactly right. And I don't want to be thinking about that, right? So but when we went to Thailand, I took my wife to Thailand for a weekend, and I had this one little box in my suitcase, and in my pocket, all this little ring thing in my pocket.
Okay.
And then everywhere we went, I was like all paranoid.
I
gotta make sure this fucking. I got this
Schmiegel, but from the Hobbit.
I was like, and my wife's kind of looking at me like, what the hell? What's wrong with you? I'm like, no, it's good. I just want to make sure I don't lose this thing, you know. I'm good. And she's like, well, what is that? I'm
what
like,
is this thing?
Nothing.
That's how you did it?
Yeah. So I'm like, that's cool, whatever. So we went to this famous, I don't know, this beach that like the restaurant goes all the way out into like the water basically. So we got like the furthest table, and they had like oysters that are like the size of your hand. And I ordered up a bunch of food.
Raw?
Yeah, raw.
I love
I love that. Yeah, for sure.
Shuck 'em, baby.
Yeah, exactly. That's one of my favorite things. So then she was, I don't know what she did, but I was like, oh, can you do something or whatever? So she kind of went to do something, and I had like this ring on the table there, right? She came back, and she's just like, well, what's this? I'm like, what do you think?
You know what it is.
I'm like, what do you think? I'm like, what are you thinking? I'm like, so what do you think? You want to do it or what? And she's just kind of like, you know, you want to get married? What are we doing here? You know?
What are we doing here?
So she's just like, yeah. So it turned out really good, right? So it was like a really romantic thing. Everyone's like, oh, couples massage, this, that. It was crazy, a fantastic experience, right, in Thailand. Beautiful place. I would say maybe 6 months later, I had to go for a visa run, and I went there with one of my homies, right?
No, one of the homies.
Who like knows Thailand. Very different experience. Like we went to like same area, Pattaya, and it was like we got picked up.
That's where the Barapa thing is in Pattaya. Yeah.
Is that where it was? It was amazing, you know. So. But I've been there twice. Very different experience.
Yes.
Very big difference. Very everywhere. You know, my buddy's like, you know, there's like this strip of like bars. He's like, so, you know, when you walk in there, there's gonna be women all over you.
Dude, did they give you the menu? Like I was with my girlfriend. We were walking down Bangura Road. I think like in
Walking Street or whatever.
Yeah, in
things,
this like crazy street right off of Phuket. And like the person's coming to you with the menu with all of these like Karma Sutra things. You're like, what? And they're like, yes, this one. And then me and my girlfriend are like, wow, this is just so like wild. Like crazy, I can't believe that this is like, that's the interesting thing.
I remember being like one of the most touristy feelings I had in Thailand. It was like I was on the beach. We were just kind of sitting there chilling. This one lady comes over. She's like, "You hungry?"
Hustling
I'm like,
stuff.
She's got like menus of all the restaurants there. Dope. And I'm like, "All right, I'll take one of these and one of these." So she's like, "Okay." She goes and gets the food. This other lady comes by. She's like, "Want a pedicure?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah, let's go." So I got like a pedicure, and then this other lady comes by and she's got like a tray full of like coconuts and stuff. I'll take one of those, and I'm sitting there like eating with my coconut.
Like, what an experience!
Getting like my feet like scraped, and I'm just sitting there like, and I'm like, okay. And it probably costs like.
And some people don't even think like they don't.
It's crazy.
It's not that some people get to experience that.
Yeah.
But they don't even think that it's a possibility.
It was crazy.
Know?
I'm
like
sitting
before
there.
I came to Asia, I was like crying every single day, like stressing out in college. Like what am I going to do with my life? Like,
college,
what am I doing? Blah blah blah. And then like now here I am like chilling out, like just
chilling.
It's dope.
I can't
like,
see you stressed.
Hearing what experiences like that.
For sure, dude. Yeah,
I don't handle stress very well.
Yeah, I'm just like tears. Let's grab the next one, brother.
All right, what do we got on this one?
So
looks like it's cheesy.
It's going up. It's going up on the spice
just like a
level,
cheesy.
It's not cheesy, man. Go for it. Get on it.
All right.
You tell me if
Look
it's
at this guy.
cheesy.
He takes all the drums. He has no consideration.
No, do your thing, bro. Dude, I do it every week, man. I'm
Eddy,
good.
take a drum.
Enjoy it.
Dope, man. This is a little bit more up my alley.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm feeling like that last one is going to be really, really good.
Can be.
I like it's almost like a smoky.
This one's made with scorpion, ghost sort of peppers. It's like it's pretty spicy.
Peppers, yeah, ghost chili and shit.
Get on it, bro. So you still want to compete?
No, that's the thing,
Fighting?
right?
Still want to compete or what?
Like as it stands right now, I don't even want to go to practice because I'm scared of getting scratched up, Like,
yeah.
And then the thing of it too, like if you want to be like a responsible...
Mr. Ferris, he was like, when we were rolling once, he was kind of telling me, hey, watch the face, that's how he makes his money. I'm like, what? I'm like, okay, yeah. It was funny because he's kind of like, hey, that's how he makes his money, so take it easy on the face type deal. I was like, hey,
good looking out, cool,
good looking out, man. I'm like, okay.
But like, that's the thing, and it's not even me, it's not even my money. Like, think about the people that do the clothing, the people that do the makeup, the director, the lights, the person that did the production, and they paid for the rental of a place for us to shoot on that day.
Sure.
If I come in with a black eye and I can't shoot, waste the money. These guys don't get to make their money. Maybe they took work off of somewhere else to do this project.
Woo. How's that?
That was a very spicy one.
It's very spicy. Okay,
Very
good.
good. I'm loving it.
I didn't think I'd get you. I was like, damn, this guy eats spicy. Okay. All right.
But like, that's the thing too, So if you want to be a professional, it's almost like, when do you start doing that? It's like, oh, this guy thinks he's Brad Pitt, so he's not going to train, or oh, he doesn't want to train, so maybe one day he can become Brad Pitt.
Why not? Yeah, I think it's possible.
When do you take yourself seriously? Do you get to Hollywood and then start doing things? Or do you do the things beforehand that get you on the path, right?
I think you're on the right track, man.
I'm hiccuping.
Good. All right. Good.
Oh man, that's spicy.
Yeah. More up your alley, you said, right?
If I go to a restaurant and I get their wings and I don't sweat, I feel like I got the buyer's remorse.
Oh yeah. You're gonna sweat, no problem.
You're straight, dude. I'm like leaking like a sieve.
So you, I also agree. I agree. Like, let's go. I want to show you some of these pictures that popped up here for you.
How are you doing with the spice, bro?
I'm all right. The last two are killers for sure.
Oh. The guy.
So when I was looking through your pictures here, I finally realized why I don't get any more modeling gigs. Yeah,
why?
Because you took them all. Shit. Yeah, all right.
Dude, the one on the right.
That's a sick picture, dude. Yeah.
The guy, when he took the picture, he's like, I want you to drink this beer, and then you'll get into the mood. And I was like, okay. So I was like,
yes, sir.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm sorry, yes, sir.
And you're like, yeah.
That was the same thing for my Galeon commercial.
Galeon. Okay.
We're shooting at like 10:30 in the morning.
Oh shit!
And
they're like, no, I need you to be shit faced.
Pretty much, yeah.
At 10.
He's like, take a sip, like a real sip, and then like the facial reaction will be so true. So naturally, we had to do a couple takes.
Of course, yeah.
It was dope.
I actually did a Heineken commercial back in the day. One of those really cool ones. I wasn't the main guy, but it was cool, and all the cans were just like water, like tap water, right? And there was all these girls, and everyone was dressed up, and they're like, it's not beer, it's just a prop. Don't drink it, it's tap water. But there were so many times you're just like sitting there chatting and like, oh, and you're like swigging this like tap water, and they're like, it's tap water, dude, don't drink that. I'm like, I forgot. Yeah. Need some more water, yeah?
Yeah, please, thank you. Yeah, the milk is very key.
I'll have more horchata, sure. So it's just like I'm like swigging tap water, and they're like, dude, I told you that's tap water, man. And I'm like, well, I'm there chatting with people, getting in the mood. There's good-looking girls around. You're just like,
and then it's just natural, right?
You know,
yeah,
you're like, oh, whoops, I'm drinking tap water apparently. So
that like speaks
awesome.
to the social psychology of like, you know, like hands and like drinking like, a cigarette too.
Yeah,
you know, like
you're like, yeah. So I drank tap water for the Heineken commercial, which is, luckily I didn't drink that much of it, so no problem. Yeah, it's crazy, dude.
As long as you didn't make a face after immediately, like, ugh.
You're like,
every time he drinks the Heineken, he looks sad.
Yeah.
It's like, what's wrong with the Heineken?
I did like this Volkswagen commercial way back. Yeah.
Dope.
And then like 6 months or a year later, same company called me, and they're like, oh, we got this like Mazda commercial or something for it. All right, cool, let's do it. And then I got all the way to the end. They're like, oh no, we can't do it. And I'm like, why? They're like, well, because Volkswagen had the rights to something. And I'm like, what?
Oh, if you've been in one in a year, you can't be more than one in a year.
They're like, Volkswagen, no, Volkswagen, no, so you can't do it. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Volkswagen owns my image now? What are we doing?
That's
crazy.
Weird. I never knew it was because of that, but like, yeah, every time
like,
I do something,
because of the Volkswagen.
They always say like, have you done this within the last year? But I didn't know that was for the owner of the previous.
So I got rejected by that.
I always thought it was the second one not wanting to use the same face, but I guess it's the first one not wanting to share the face.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
Well, tell me about this gig right here, dude. Why don't you tell me a little about that?
That was really cool. That was a really neat day.
It's a sick face, dude. I love that. Yeah, love it.
That was me dressed up in my finest suit to try to entice this very nice singer, Shiny.
Yeah, Shiny. Yeah,
Taiwan. She's cool.
She's pretty shiny for sure. Yeah, for sure.
But I guess the whole idea of the music video was all these missed connections.
Yeah, for sure. I saw it's a good video.
So naturally, as I pull out the chair and I get the look in the hat,
I'm like, what's up? The eyes are pretty good. I like that.
Yeah?
I watched that a couple times. That was good.
Thanks, man. Yeah, very good. Lucky too. You never know. Sometimes I was lucky the director was able to capture that.
Okay. Yeah, for
like
sure.
Sometimes someone goes in.
Let's try this guy right here. Tell me a little about that one.
That one's dope. That was for Rug-On, the rugged tablet. So the idea is this tablet.
Shout out to Brandon O'Neill.
Yeah, he's a G, man. He's
good,
cool.
man. He's a great guy.
Thanks. And strong. But yeah, we were just like together, me and him. We were checking the guy over there in the shirt. Yeah. And he was smuggling meat. That was the kind of the premise.
How dare he?
Yeah, right? Yeah. Across borders. But we were able to use the tablet to check his ID and to check what his records were for transport.
Okay.
And when we found the salami, I'm pretty sure we found salami.
Okay.
We find that it was not actually correct. And then you see me later on take him down and use jujitsu.
Yeah, did you really? Did you do it? Shout out to Kimura. You should have Kimura him.
His arm behind his back. But it's kind of funny. So it's kind of interesting too to know that like they have tablets out there. You know, like this thing you get like you can drop it, you can get it wet, you can do everything. Crazy. But it's made specifically for like rugged situations like law enforcement.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Get to dress up in like that cool outfit. You know,
that's pretty sick gear. I did like a James Bondy sort of one where I was like a you know that dude in the Matrix, like the agent guy.
Neo. No,
not Neo. No, I wish. No, the bad guy. The bad guy. The bad guy. We're like we're dressed up with like sunglasses and like the suits
with the blonde hair. No.
Like the Agent Smith guy. Agent Smith guy. Okay. So we dressed up like that, and I mean it was most of the guys there were not big or whatever, and I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna fucking steal this role, right? And then this other Canadian dude who's like Israeli descent. He
and
comes
Adonis.
in. He comes in and he's just like, boom. And I'm like, oh. That's the end of that, I guess. Yeah, crushing my dreams. So,
Under those massive pecs.
I was like, damn.
He's crushing my dreams.
But he comes in and he's just like, boom, and I was like, all right, I guess I'm a backup guy again. Yeah.
That's the thing, man. Like some dudes you see, you're like, you're just so perfect for the part. My God.
Yeah, I'm just like
walking out.
Why am I here? Yeah, what are we doing?
But then like sometimes you do your own thing and you're like, that sucked, and they're like, give it to you, and it's like, whoa, like what do they? I feel almost like they have an idea before the audition, you know, and then they want you to fit their preconceived idea. Yeah. But then also there's a little wiggle room. Like if you're really smooth, maybe you can do something. But yeah.
You gotta tell me about this one, brother. That's a good picture.
My girlfriend's so upset about that one.
What?
That's her. Yeah.
Why is she upset about it?
I thought it was cool. I thought it was an opportunity to sort of collaborate with a photographer, you know?
Why would she be upset about that one?
She doesn't think she looks so good, and then she thinks that we kind of look a little bit like it's like, you know,
artificial?
Like super filter, artificial kind of. But I think that might have been a little bit what he was going for.
But that looks great. I think
that's what he was going for. I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But it was kind of neat, you know.
That looks like a wedding picture, man.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what it looks like.
Thanks,
yeah,
maybe we'll keep it for that.
Totally does. Yeah.
Yeah,
save a little bit of
anymore,
cash. Yeah, we got this. Yeah, for sure.
Dude, my mouth is still burning, yo.
Is it? Yeah, for sure.
Good. It's good.
Let's get put up a couple more pictures. Got this guy right here. Bam.
Oh, say what?
That's sick. I like that. That's a good picture.
Yeah.
That's like green screen city and. What was up with you were flying?
So the whole idea of this is we're kind of like superheroes.
Okay.
And my superpower was I'm APA, Active Parking Assist.
Okay.
So like it's a feature of the new Ford Ranger. And so I guess like when you put it in park, it'll like help you to park your truck, whatever.
Okay.
And so that was my superpower. So in this part here, what I'm doing is I have to, dude, if you look at those little things, they're like boxes. They're like shoe boxes.
Yeah.
And they're all tipped up. So it's really like wobbly, you know?
Jeez, okay.
You got to be straight with your jump.
And what, you're jumping. Oh, I thought you were hanging off something.
No. The idea is for me to jump in the air, and then they start filming, and they catch me on the way down. Because in the commercial, as I come down, that's when I'm landing in the back of a truck.
Oh.
So it's like I'm flying into it. So I had to jump up so they could capture me coming down, and then green screen it into the back of a truck.
Sweet.
How dope is that? It's interesting.
That is.
Yeah.
Check this guy out too.
And there's the Ford behind me. But the trippy thing is, dude, I used to work at Ford.
Did you really?
Yeah, man. I was a service advisor, and
amazing.
I have a Ford Ranger. I had a Ford Ranger, 2014 Ford Ranger. Back in Canada, I was driving before, And so the president of Ford Motor Cars Canada came to our dealership because the owner of our dealership was like a pretty big guy, had a lot of them. And so he came to ours, and I asked her that question. I'm going to ask her a question because here's my chance, and I want to get recognized.
Yeah,
so
sure.
I'm like, why don't you guys do Ford Rangers past the year 2015 in Canada?
Okay.
And she's like, well, I guess the market in Canada isn't so big. They're really wanting like a bigger truck, so they're doing F-150. Which is interesting because recently, within the last 5 years, they've gone towards a smaller truck, like the Chevys and the.
Maybe because of gas prices or what? Yeah,
I think so.
I like
Asia had them the whole time. They never had the F-150.
Yeah,
they've always had the Ranger.
I mean, there's a lot of F-150s where I live for sure.
That's because
it's
bigger
roads.
Snow,
big road. Yeah.
Okay. But it was just so interesting to be able to meet the president of Ford Canada, ask her about why we don't have them, and then to come and
actually get an answer.
One.
Yeah.
And then to get an answer from her in the moment.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. Well, let's get one more, and then we'll get that next wing. Yeah.
Okay. And now I want to ask you about some quotes, bro. I got some. There you
quotes.
Go, dude. People say one.
Quote. What is this guy's
quote?
That's dope. That was dope. That's a sick. That's like your samurai. How sick is that?
That was in the Samurai Museum in Tokyo.
Okay.
Me and my two friends went.
Okay.
And we went and saw Fedor Emelianenko versus Rampage Jackson, bro. The Bellator. So it was like Bellator versus like the Japanese league. And so they had fighters from each one and they collaborated. Kind of like what Bellator wants to do with UFC. They did that with the Japanese league.
Ryzen or what?
I think so. I think it was Ryzen and Bellator. They fought. And so like I got to see all the best fighters like Lorenz Larkin and like what's the name of that one dude that just moved over to the UFC from Bellator?
Mike Chandler?
Yeah, I saw Michael Chandler. He was fighting that day too. Yeah,
really?
He's such a G. Yeah, he's like so crazy.
Oh, that's crazy.
His body's like this, man. It's like the craziest core you've ever seen in your whole life.
I bet. Michael Chandler. All right. How do you think he's going to do?
I like his chances.
You don't like him?
I do like him.
You like him?
I do like his
I
chances.
do like
his chances, yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, like...
But what do you think about them?
But what weight class is he in? Is he in Khabib's weight class?
Khabib.
Yeah. He's very small. He's short. He's very short.
So you think if he cuts weight, he's gonna have a better chance?
In a lower weight class?
At lower weight?
What would that be?
That would be 145.
Max Holloway? That
would be Volkanovski, yeah. Better.
He just got knocked out by the guy from Bellator that was Volkanovski's weight.
Yeah, he did, yeah. So that's right. Well, he's the backup for the fight, right?
Gaethje and Khabib, right?
I
Dude,
really.
There's a quote from Khabib.
I don't want him to. I don't think they should feed him like that right away. Yeah.
You know, because like that's the thing. Yeah. What about Wonderboy Thompson versus Kaimiev or whatever?
Yeah.
He's like trying to fight Leon Edwards so bad, right? Because I feel like Kaimiev's gonna kill.
You think he'll kill Wonderboy?
Oh.
Think so? Yeah.
Oh. Like what did Tyron Woodley do to Wonderboy? Shut him down.
Yeah, he did.
Took him down and then ground and pounded him. What's Kaimiev gonna do?
He's pretty crazy. I just want to see him against a good person before I'm super excited about it.
I think you might be right. Yeah, he hasn't really been tested, right?
Well, I mean, like, I love Johnny
But he's
Walker.
gone to 2 weight classes.
Yeah, that's
What kind
true.
of a test is that?
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Like, remember how they always say, like, a belt and age is like, or no, how do they say weight is like a belt, age is like a belt. So if you're like a 40-year-old, like, purple belt and you're fighting maybe a 20-year-old blue belt, that 20 years difference, because he's younger, that's almost like a belt. So he's like,
okay.
That's what they say.
Okay.
And then say, for instance, that 20-year-old is also 230 pounds. That weight is almost like a belt too.
That's tough.
So so it's like that's what I've heard. Like,
but I mean, like I found like you're pretty light, but you're able to use your weight.
Yeah,
you're able to, and you're so sharp. Like
so
like the neon belly. I'm like, oh shit, that hurts, dude. But I mean, like I'll have other guys that are heavier, and they'll be like on top, and I'm like, okay, he's heavy, but
how do they use it? That's
but I'm not
key,
like
man.
I'm not getting sliced up by this guy's knee.
Yeah,
but yours, I'm like, oh my god, this is rough. Yeah,
dope.
I'm like almost tapping on neon belly.
Good.
I'm gonna tap on this.
That's what I want.
Because I'm like, damn, I'm getting killed here.
Because that's the thing too. It's like when you're lacing in that neon belly, right? You're going across the body. You're driving in with your toes, you know. So you're driving in, and then you're grabbing that head a little bit. And you're pulling that head up, and you're kneeing it down. And you're grabbing his leg, and you're just, you're driving. Like that's how you do it. It's coming from like so many different angles. The head, the leg as you're driving in, and your weight coming down. Plus you're sharp. It's like how can you not tap? You know, that's crazy.
I think one of the problems I always have is if I kind of catch a move on somebody, I don't know how. I don't want to squeeze too hard. I feel guilty. I'm like, I don't really want to squeeze this guy because
that's a sissy maneuver.
I'm trying not to. I'm trying not to hurt nobody. You know.
That's the thing too.
I don't want to kill somebody. You know.
That's the thing. You realize how resilient a body is, or how strong a body is.
Just
do you know how hard it is to knock somebody out? Like,
I'm sure. Yeah.
It's so hard.
Sure,
I've never knocked anybody out. I got a bunch of TKOs, but I've never knocked anybody out.
Yeah. Okay.
Like how hard is that? Like I feel like but you see it in the movies every day. You see it on TV every day. Like one punch KO. Easy,
well, what's your advice? Just squeeze the shit out of him, or
do
what?
it. Yeah.
Just squeeze.
Why not?
Him.
And then they'll tap, or if not, and then But that's the thing too. Maybe
I don't. I'm like okay. Oops.
No, but like that's the thing. It's almost like you're not. I don't know. Like some people would say like. Obviously, if you're there in side control and you're just doing this like that, like stop. But if you're like this and you're maybe like putting it on him and you're slow about it and you're like this, then it's like maybe that gives him time to do a move like an underhook to try to sweep out.
Sure,
so you're not just yanking on him, right? I would say go hard but slow, as opposed to like fast and jerky.
for sure, slow.
So then don't worry about it, right? Don't worry about it.
Okay. Because I'm always like, ugh.
Because they need to feel the pressure too, Like why would you rob them of the opportunity to feel, what it can be to be squeezed?
Okay.
Like if you're doing that to me, and then I go into like an MMA match and I'm like, hey, I've never been squeezed that hard in my whole life.
Yeah,
and you're like, well, I was always taking it easy on you. I'm like, damn you!
Yeah, there you go.
I'm so pissed off.
That's funny. It's like this one kind of newish guy is called Kevin Holland, and he was a late-minute replacement, and he fought Thiago Santos. They got the hammer on his chest.
Yeah, the guy that almost beat up John Jones.
Yeah. So Santos won, but they went to decision. But this guy was coming up through the Contender Series, and then he stepped in. And so they were saying that Rogan was commentating or somebody, and he got Holland to the corner, and he kind of Khabib'd him, pinned him down. He just started wailing on him, right? And they could hear him saying, "Jeez, man, why are you hitting me so hard? Take it easy." Like,
shut up. No
shit,
way.
This sucks.
Shut up.
Yeah,
No way.
they said that. That's what he was saying because Santos hit so hard, and he's like,
unbelievable.
Shit, I've never been hit this hard.
And what a time to find
sucks.
out when you're locked in a cage
when you're
with
under
this dude
like that guy,
stuck on the fence,
and he was just
can't
like,
get any
and he was just getting wailed on, So So I understand what you're saying for sure. Yeah.
But like, how like scary would that be too? You know, like you're just pinned, like helpless, and just getting pounded, and it's almost like this is your career. You know, you can't really tap from strikes.
You can't tap from strikes.
But you can. But like, if you do, you're in trouble. You're probably not gonna, like, you know.
No one will ever forget it if you do, for sure. Yeah.
But yeah.
What do you think, dude? Should we take that last one?
All right,
worried about
risk
it? You good,
bro? Let's risk it.
Go for it. Go for it.
All right. Now, see, now, I almost feel like going the drum route is not to my benefit because there's just so much mass.
There's a lot more
much
food.
more chili
full,
on there.
Okay.
So much more chili sauce on there because of the size.
Make sure you get all that sauce on there.
Oh god,
all that sauce is all you, dude. Sauce is all you, dude.
The thing about this that I like is the smoky flavor, kind of from the chili. You know.
Okay. You get pretty good with the spice, man. It's good.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, good.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that, man. No, I do enjoy spice. It's good for you. Good for your blood, right?
It is, they say, right? Yeah. So I want to know what's the next step. 5-year plan or whatever. Yeah.
Well, dude, my next gig, I'm shooting tomorrow for the Gottagu, the We Kids series.
Not at lunchtime, right?
Yeah.
What time?
Thursday, Friday, tomorrow. Early.
What time?
Early, dude. I got to get out of here, go to sleep, and then get going.
Yo, well, shoot,
but the
man.
next
You're gonna be on the
thing for
toilet
me,
in the morning. Yeah.
Be careful. Yeah. It's like wiping a pot of burnt chili.
Bring diapers, man. Okay. Yeah.
But the next thing is an interview. I don't know if you've heard of this brand, the Taiwan Excellence.
I have. Yeah, of course, I've seen that. Yeah,
I have an opportunity to be a part of the 2020 Taiwan Hardware Showcase, which is being put on by Taiwan Excellence. And I'm going to have the opportunity to meet with and interview the representatives from 7 award-winning brands. And so each year, this is awarded annually, each year companies are awarded based on their excellence in R&D, manufacturing, and marketing.
Okay.
So I'll get to go to the thing in Taichung, interview them, put a little shine on their company and their brand. Okay. And it's basically to show the international market that Taiwan is still a thriving industry, especially in the hardware industry.
Okay, beautiful.
So that's my next thing after that.
How do you get these gigs? Do you have like an agent?
Randomly,
like,
no.
But how,
maybe just like things like this, somebody will see it.
No, that's the plan.
Always be ready too. Be ready.
It's like a fighter, right? He's always got to be in shape, right? Mm-hmm. Sometimes you get, they'll be like, hey, I need you to replace this guy, but they're like, well, he's not in fight shape, so
exactly,
he can't fight. Yeah.
Always, and that's the thing, having a vast skill set through doing many things, and then the more people hear about what you're doing, then they'll try you out for stuff. So it's just always be moving, always be ready.
Always be closing, man. That's nice. I like that.
Yeah.
Very cool. So what's your idea? What's your plan? You sticking around? Get married? Stay here? Have a family?
The girlfriend situation's going pretty good. So
that's good. Yeah. Sorry, ladies. He's taking. Where's she at? Hold up. There she is, right there. Boom. Yeah. Also wanted to pull up this picture because I thought it was freaking awesome. Oh, that's such a cool one, man.
That's Zhang Zhenyue, Joker Shui. That's his music video. I got to play an SS agent who kills a guy in prison. And if you look at the guy behind me, that's the singer.
Grim Reaper,
the singer,
and
he's the Grim Reaper. He's the one that brings me to death.
Really?
And so we're getting pushed around in like a little boat on this little pool inside a studio.
Really?
How dope is that, right? So the guy's up to his knees in the water.
Okay.
And then behind is like a screen with the projection of the clouds. Yeah. And then at the top they have like a chute.
That's so
cool,
film
downwards.
Dude. Wow. I labeled it as M. Bison, because he looked like remember that? Yeah. M. Bison from Street Fighter. I was like, oh shit.
That's cool, actually.
I was like, M. Bison from Street Fighter.
The thing about that, though, I got to learn about the Taiwanese culture.
Oh, that's cool.
Because he brings me to my death, and then I have to drink the Mong Po Tang, something like that. It's like the special soup that they drink at the end of their life to forget their previous life, and then they can go into death and be born again.
Alcohol, you mean? Or
yeah, straight.
Sometimes I drink a little bit too much alcohol and I forget mine too. I'm like, what?
Forget my life.
What day is it again? Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah, brother. So you're gonna go all out. You're going all out on the acting and all that stuff, right?
Or at least just be ready for whatever's around. You know, I mean, Joy English is great. I have a lot of opportunities with them to mentor new teachers.
Okay.
So I'd like to take advantage of that opportunity to sort of help people that were in my position when I was coming up.
That's
give
really
them at
cool,
least some
man.
tips and tricks to make their life easier. You know.
Yeah, because a lot of people leave because they don't get it. Yeah.
You know, like it's like, oh my god, like I love to teach and like be a mentor and do all that stuff, but I can't handle these kids screaming all the time. You know, like maybe learn some classroom management stuff, or maybe look at yourself in a different way. When I first came, I was coming off of a job doing construction. So I was working with like the toughest dudes you'd ever meet. I was doing the health and safety, so I was the first aid attendant. So I had situations where I would actually have to patch up guys that get cut on site, but they were getting drunk the night before, like doing some drugs, you know, like so killer. So it's like you don't want to screw up as you're touching them in a sensitive spot, right? And then now here I come working with children.
Yeah.
It's like a totally different idea.
Opposite,
you know? And so in the beginning, I had a different mindset that I feel like was negative for the job. I thought of myself as like a mother goose.
It's all about mindset, right? It's all about mindset.
But if you can change that mindset, for me, I was like, oh, I don't want to babysit all day. No, that's not my job. But then my boss at my bushy band, Anne. Hello, Anne.
What's up, Anne?
She was like, hello. She's the one that told me, she's like, look at yourself more like a coach. She's like, coach these kids through English. Don't like love them and be their mother, because that's not you and you don't like that. I'm like, you're right. So then like I did take that sort of that idea into it and I changed it. And I'm like, yeah, now I can sort of work from that angle.
Sweet.
And now I get to be a basketball coach also. IBA,
that is cool.
What's up, IBA,
what's
basketball.
Up?
So, you know.
Very cool, man. I love it. So you want to stick around here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you ever have plans on maybe moving back? Or are you thinking?
I don't know. That's the thing too. I talked to my girlfriend about it. I'm like, do you want to have kids in Canada or in Taiwan?
Yeah.
You know, like think about it. Like everybody says the medical system in Canada is so
That's
great.
always a big
but
question.
Dude, so many people from Taiwan move from Taiwan to live in Vancouver.
So
there's
many.
got to be something good there.
So
like,
many.
Like,
Yeah.
why?
So
Maybe I should
many.
talk to them. Like, am I in the right spot? Should I be going back? I don't know. But like the medical system here is great too.
Oh God, it's great here for sure. It's
so,
like $200
and she
to
speaks
see the
Taiwanese.
dentist.
Like my girlfriend's Taiwanese, so maybe she can communicate with the doctor a little better.
So
maybe
sure.
that side of it, you want to stay here and like you know.
I agree. Yeah. I think we had my daughter here, and she goes to local school. It's great. I think it's great.
Yeah, education.
I mean, it's pretty good. I also think safety for sure. Education. She's in grade 3 now, so she's getting lots of homework and stuff, which is a little bit
weird.
Tough. It's a little tough.
Homework,
but
what?
it's.
No, that was till grade 6. Bro.
Yeah, I know. So so that's kind of how it is here, but. So far, it's okay.
I'm not against the
good,
bushy band style.
Yeah, me
like
neither,
if like I went to daycare as a kid, and I was really lucky because it gave me an opportunity, you know, like hang out with friends after school, the environment. But
that's
kind of
what
really
my daughter
learned
does.
anything. Dude.
Yeah.
Like I feel like a cram school or like a bushy band where maybe you're learning another language or like they're doing something like that's great because you can have fun learning a language.
It really just depends on the teacher.
Yeah. And enjoy like the curriculum, you know, like we're doing songs, we're dancing, we're playing games, we're doing dialogues, we're doing all of it. So it's not like you're just like sitting there like listening, you know, like that would be the worst. And then it would be worse also is just having somewhere to go after school with no curriculum, no learning. You're just killing time until your parents pick you up. Like that's worse too. And that's what my experience was in like Canada, you know.
Agreed.
Like wait till 6 when mom gets off work and then I get to go home. But what am I doing till then?
Nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's chilling at the daycare. Like
at the daycare. Yeah.
So I feel like that side of it is like homework in grade 3 is weird. But at the same time, maybe having fun at the side, like learning and like it's cool.
But she has like piano and stuff. She tries it. Mm-hmm. Sometimes she likes it. Sometimes she doesn't. But then I pick her up. We do stuff. She does BJJ a couple times a week. She loves that. Like I coach soccer. She didn't really like soccer that much. Okay, it is what it is.
Freedom to choose.
Yeah, but then she chose BJJ. She loved it. She still loves it. So I'm like, okay, 1 out of 2. I mean, these are the only 2 things that I really like sports-wise, right? I love soccer. I've been playing it my whole life. And then like UFC, BJJ, all that stuff. I love that stuff. So she likes that. Sounds good.
That's what they say. They say like I remember watching Jordan Peterson and he was talking about the Buddha. It says about like a father allows his child to fall in love with the world by enticing that child into a relationship with all that the world has to offer. So if you want your child to really grow and be a person of like character in this world, give them the opportunity to experience this world. And, give them things to try, to choose, to do, and then like through that, then they can know what they are, and who they are, and how they work. But like the worst thing would be to like sometimes I feel guilty when I don't walk my dog. I'm robbing my dog of an opportunity to grow up and grow out. All that stuff. So it's crazy.
Sorry, that's just something.
Dude, I gotta take a bathroom break.
All right, cool.
Do that?
Well,
let's
want to wrap. We can wrap it.
I can
up.
wrap if you're
Let's
good.
Wrap it. Yeah.
Cheers.
I gotta
All right,
take
guys,
a
we're gonna take a bathroom.
All right.
Oh, you didn't mean that. You meant the other wrap.
You want to wrap? Okay. What do you want to go? All right, we can do that one too.
We can do that one.
You want to go take a quick one? Or
No,
what?
I'm cool, man.
Good?
This is great, bro.
Yeah. Basically, I wanted to say thank you for coming. I had a great time. I think we can do it again.
Dude, man, we're chilling all the time. You're my boy.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you for this. I'm gonna put this on the podcast wall.
I'm happy about that.
And Khabib Gaethje, who you got?
Dude, right?
Last one.
Okay, last one. My heart says Gaethje, but my mind and my wallet says Khabib.
That's tough, right? I think Gaethje has a better chance than most. I think he's got a better chance than most.
Base, and he's athletic as hell. Look at those leg kicks.
Leg kicks are beautiful. Look at Costa, got destroyed off leg kicks, right?
But Khabib is huge for the weight class.
I know.
And he manhandles everybody. And then
it's true.
I don't know. I'm saying, money's on Khabib, but my heart is Gaethje.
I agree 100%. I really hope Gaethje can do it, but
I almost don't want to see the legacy end. You know, I love to see those guys that are like, like
the undefeated guys.
Men,
it's true.
Like,
it's true. Yeah.
True. What do you got? Jones or Adesanya? Dude.
I think Jones is too big.
Dude, they're the same size. They're the same height. Adesanya's just got to put on some weight.
Yeah,
and if they meet at 205, that's not so bad.
Yeah, I just think Jones has that. I think he's long.
Okay, but
they're both Adesanya not?
Super is Adesanya not?
Who's longer?
That's the thing. I think they're the same, bro. I think they're the same. That's the weird thing.
I think fighting, striking, Adesanya's better.
Yes. And then Dominic Reyes almost lit John Jones up.
I just think overall, I think Jones, but we'll see.
But that's the thing. Jones knows how to win. He knows how to take you down and score points for a takedown. He knows to hold you down and put you.
But guy took down Daniel Cormier
for the points.
Yeah,
no, not for that. But I know he took Dominic Reyes down for the points at the end because he was getting lit up on the feet. So he took him down for the points.
Yep.
So he knows how to win.
He does, yeah.
But Adesanya, if you give Adesanya too much of a chance on the feet, like John does like to strike, he might get lit up.
He's got a pretty good chin though, so I don't know. We'll see. I would love to see.
I want to come and watch the fights.
We'll see that. Yeah, brother.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, man.
I'll take the baseball bat, right?
Yeah, there you go. So we're gonna cut it off, but we'll actually we're gonna do another one soon. I got a little podcast studio set up at the house. Got some green screens and stuff. It's almost done. When it's done, I'll have you by.
See it, man. Please, dude. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for watching. Catch you guys next week. Shout out to everybody watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. We'll see you guys soon.